Preparations for a swift adoption of the euro currency, as the Balkan country doesn't meet all of the required entry criteria. The European Commission Vice President says the country would not become a Eurozone member before the start of 2025. Townhall.com. Amazon is closed on its close to $4 billion acquisition of One Medical.
One Medical is a membership-based service offering virtual care and inpatient visits. Amazon says membership to the service will be available to new U.S. customers for $144, a 28% discount for the first year. The FTC had been doing a review of the buyout, though it hasn't brought forth a lawsuit to block the merger. An agency spokesperson says it's not ruling out any challenges in the future. The e-commerce giant has said the buyout is a key component of its growing healthcare business, which includes its online drugstore, Amazon Pharmacy, and a patient-to-doctor messaging service called Amazon Clinic. Julie Walker, New York.
24-year-old TV news reporter and a 9-year-old girl among the 3 victims of shootings yesterday in the Orlando, Florida area. A 19-year-old suspect is in custody. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday. It's only Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Feels like this week's been going on forever.
No, from Wednesday on, I have to ask is it Friday question, usually around lunchtime.
Yeah.
Like, what's my workload going to look like when I get back?
All day, yes. Like, for a hunk yesterday, I kept thinking it was Thursday for some reason.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, still Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
So
Thirsty Thursday.
Actual Thursday. Welcome to it, everybody.
Yeah.
Hope all of you are having.
Happy National Margarita Day.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
That's right. And you know what?
Taking a little day drinking.
You know, yesterday was, too, the anniversary of the 1980 Miracle on Ice.
Oh.
Which,
snap.
Probably a lot of people don't know what that is around here. But when when the U.S. Olympic hockey team won the gold medal as severe underdogs.
Yep.
And of course, the Miracle on Ice game is when they beat Russia.
It wasn't even for the gold.
Yeah, it was to get to the gold medal game.
Yeah, that was the gold medal game.
But,
yeah.
Go in honor of that. Go watch the movie Miracle.
Miracle. It's a great movie.
It is a good movie. Kurt Russell plays Herb Brooks, Coach Herb Brooks, who's no longer with us. He passed away. But Daniel Craig and all the
I forgot Daniel Craig was in there.
Well, no, not the actor Daniel Craig.
I was like, was he in that?
The goaltender for the U.S. Olympic hockey team was named Daniel Craig.
I said that.
The real Daniel Craig.
That really would have been something.
And then Michael Ruzioni was one of the stars of that team. Yeah, it's a good movie, but yeah, the real life story, all that took place. Anniversary of it yesterday. So
nice.
So watch Miracle while drinking a margarita.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you're of age, of course, not take none of that advice. But happy Thursday, we made it.
Yeah.
It is really Thursday.
It is Thursday.
And hope you're having a good day. A little less wind, but it is still going to be breezy today. Not like yesterday windy, but could see 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts today. So at least it's not snow or all the stuff that other parts of the state have been dealing with the blizzards and all the other things are getting up north and all that. Not our problem, but we are dealing with wind still. Good. We'll get you up to date and all that here in just a little bit.
Also, the start of the Lenten season yesterday.
Yes, Ash Wednesday was yesterday as well. So got that.
You giving up anything for Lent? You're like, I'm giving up things.
I gave up a long time ago.
Pretty much. I'm giving up hope for Lent. I'll tell you what it is for me, and this is every year I look forward to this time of year because it's fish sandwich season. I
do enjoy the good selections of fish sandwiches.
Every fast food restaurant rolls out their fish sandwich lineup around this time of year, and they all have some pretty good ones.
I'm not going to lie. And I know, we are fans of McDonald's. We talk about McDonald's.
Sure.
I do love when the other restaurants pull out their fish sandwiches.
Arby's has a $5 fish and chip special right now.
And I think they do like 2 for $7 on their fishes too. Like usually Sonic busts out their fish sandwich and Wendy's busts out their fish sandwich. And the one that's around 24/7 all the time to you is the OG filet of fish.
OG, yeah.
Still my favorite.
100%.
But what I love about this season, usually they put on the menu
2 for $5.
Or the D.
Oh, the double.
The double filet of fish. And I've had this argument on the show in the past. We've had long conversations. 2 patties of fish are better than one on this thing.
I stand by the fact that I think that you could double that up into sandwiches and enjoy double the steamed buns.
I want double the meat on one set of buns.
It's not filling enough for me.
To me, it's you eat 2. That's what fat guys do.
That's 2 doubles?
Yeah.
No, that's insane. That's 4 fillets of fish. That's.
I'm dedicated.
I mean, I'm dedicated too, but every man has to have a limit.
It's fish. It's healthier. You can eat as much as you want.
At some point, you have to stop eating for show.
I know. But
now, granted, I do that. I most of the things that I've been enjoying / trying have been off of TikTok from the last week or so.
But it makes me feel happy inside.
It's true. I got to tell you, dude. I tried something last night it's a TikTok thing.
Okay.
I almost burned my kitchen down.
Oh
but
no.
It's amazing, and I'm so happy I did it.
A food, like a recipe?
A food thing. So they're called crack grapes. I found out about these like last week. Okay. Super simple, and yet somehow I managed to almost burn my kitchen down. What you do is now I'm going to preface this by saying in a microwave safe container.
Okay.
That's key.
Is that what you messed up?
That's what I messed up.
All right.
Turns out that when they say it's not microwave safe, they mean it. You melt Jolly Ranchers. Okay. In a microwave. It takes like 30, 45 seconds.
Okay.
Melt Jolly Ranchers. While that's melting, you take grapes and you skewer them. Put them on skewers. Once that's done, you simply just dip the grapes in the Jolly Ranchers.
Like batter them in
Right. And then submerge them in ice water. Gets them all nice and hard, candy coated on the outside, and that super like crunchy grape on the end. Dude, legitimately like one of the greatest inventions ever.
So what did you use to melt the Jolly Rancher in?
Well, I have these little plastic ramekins that I didn't. So when I opened the package, the warning label came off with the packaging. It did say afterwards I looked in the trash can and saw that it said, "Oh, hey, not for use in microwave." So I used this little plastic ramekin. It burned a perfect circular Jolly Rancher flavored hole through the bottom of this container and onto my floor.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got as much of it much of the molten stuff as I could with paper towels and got that into the trash can, but then I had to like sit there with a butter knife and scrape the hard candy nonsense.
You got the cats to help.
trying to keep the ants from helping. That's what I'm trying to keep. So, but dude, the end result.
It tasted good?
The end result was Jiminy Christmas.
You didn't burn a hole through your kitchen floor and all that.
Well, luckily the house stands, but it's definitely something. I was trying it for to see if I wanted to try it with the kids.
Sure.
Later on, like when I get the kids back, and it's definitely gonna be something that we'll be experimenting with.
Note to self: put Jolly Rancher in true microwave safe.
Probably glass.
Yeah.
Probably a glass container,
or at least a good microwavable Tupperware.
Yeah.
Don't use styrofoam. It don't work well either. Just note to self.
Just in case you're curious.
As many things you've reheats of leftovers. Styrofoam doesn't.
It'll burn
hold up
straight
well.
through.
But I mean, in theory, it sounds good.
Dude, in practice, it was one of those things that it was like I saw it last week, and it has been eating my soul ever since that I wanted to try it.
So, what kind of Jolly Rancher? What flavor did you go?
Actually, I went with it was peach and pineapple. It was some other ultra flavor pack.
Okay,
but it turned out it was just as good as my expectations.
What if you put a grape flavored on the grape?
I feel like that's redundant. Although grape flavoring
fake grape doesn't taste like real grape.
Tends to be like it tastes like Concord grapes.
Yeah, exactly. So
it might be good. Yeah.
I mean, if we can eat grapes that taste like cotton candy, why can't we have grape
doggone right
encased grapes?
See, I'm gonna do the cotton candy grapes next.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show, because otherwise we'll just talk about our food fantasies here.
It's amazing. I'm 38 years old. I'm living my 7-year-old fantasies.
Well, it's because
that's the beauty of the internet.
Well, there's no adult to tell you to stop it.
Well, we didn't have a TikTok when I was 7. If we had a TikTok then, I would have gotten it out then.
Yeah, but
I'd have been much more well-rounded.
Even though we didn't have TikTok, my brother, I told you all his weird. He used to create weird things in the kitchen all the time, and when I got bored, I tended to do, like, I remember one day I stayed home from school sick, quotation, and I guess it was around Halloween, and I got really bored, and I ended up taking an apple and carving it into a jack-o'-lantern, and I remember it sitting there for, I don't know, I was like 13, 14, I don't know, and it was home with Dad. I don't know why, but these are the dumb things we did before the internet, I guess, and but my brother was one of those ones,
What was I going to do, read books?
Here, eat your apple, and I made it into a jack-o'-lantern.
I already watched one of the 2 channels.
And Super TV. It didn't come on till 7.
Right.
But yeah, it to me, I think TikTok just, we were doing that same stuff.
Sure,
kid just wanted it on video or caught.
That's the thing is, everybody had their own little like things they did when they were like little that seemed completely normal to them.
Yeah.
But the whole rest of the world's like, whoa, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like somebody's been out there making candy grapes for eons.
Yeah.
That's always been a thing. I'm just finding out about it.
That's right. We were busy microwaving our eggs. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. This hour, we're going to replay our interview. We had the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters join us yesterday. Kim and Bobby dropped by and gave us an update, so we're going to play that for you. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're scheduled to have the folks from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. It's their monthly view. We'll see if they drop in. If they do, chit-chat. We'll chit-chat with them. If not, my backup plan is to play our Leadership Roswell alumni interview that we had talking about their teen leadership, which is coming up here. As a matter of fact, the deadline, I believe, is March 1st to sign up. So that's just a few days away. So, and then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Bob Power is going to join us. He's got another dance this Saturday night. Nice. Wants to invite everybody out, too. So we'll talk about that with Bob here about 9:15.
That's why I hate this time of year. Because it
dances?
No. Because you hear March 1st. That feels like so long, so far away. It's next week.
Next Wednesday.
February is such a weird month. I know it's only 3 days, but just it messes everything up.
Yeah. And then, of course, everyone's getting basketball-itis because March Madness is around the corner. They've already started the commercials and get ready. So February kind of gets shadowed by that too, especially this last week of February when people are caring about basketball.
Do you usually build a bracket?
I don't care about basketball.
Honestly,
I'm not a basketball. I'm just not into basketball. It's not my.
They say it's one of the biggest productivity killers in the workplace. I'm like, I guess.
I've done a bunch of them. My brother I told the stories about my brother, the gambler, and creating and scamming people and all the other mess he's done. But I played back then in the day, but now if someone comes up to me and says, you want squares? And I'm like, all right, sure, why not, or whatever. Want to fill out a bracket? All right, whatever. That's kind of my...
Yeah.
I do like playing squares, not for basketball, but
the squares, football. At least I feel like I have a shot, I don't know enough.
You don't have to think.
Yeah, exactly. They say if you're going to build a bracket, you either have to know nothing, which I qualify.
That's me.
or you have to be thoroughly knowledgeable in the field of bracketology.
And even then, you're going to botch it.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot.
It's 64 teams to get all those games right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it's like winning the lottery.
Yeah,
odds are about the same. Right. It's very low.
Can it be done? Sure. Is it going to be done? Probably not.
Broken clocks right twice a day. You know, that kind of scenario. But it's the odds are forever not in your favor.
They're definitely not.
All right, it is 7:19. Where's that movie? May the odds forever not be in your favor. It is 7:19. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Less wind, but still wind.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looking a little bit better today with high pressure moving back in behind that cold front. Not quite as windy, but it still will be a little bit breezy. Wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunshine today and mid to upper 60s. Overnight, mid 30s and a few clouds, and then we'll be getting sunshine and warmer temperatures on Friday. Back in the low 70s. We'll stay in the 70s for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 61%. Winds currently out of the north at 7 miles per hour. Sunny today, mid-60s expected, 65 our official high today. Winds out of the southwest this morning, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later today, winds picking up 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30, which isn't as bad as yesterday. So we'll call that a win. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 35 degrees, south winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. For you Friday, in the 70s tomorrow, mostly sunny, 72 for a high. Even better, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 43. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance at seeing some light rain in the morning before lunch. Mostly cloudy for the day, highs around 72 once again with winds out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy Saturday night with an overnight low of 48 degrees. Sunday, we're looking at more wind and all of that, patchy blowing dust and windy, but mostly sunny and a high of 73. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, sunny skies, expect highs in the upper 60s, 68 there. It looks like we'll be floating in the low to mid 70s for at least a hunk of next week. So could be some breezes midweek again. So seems like it's that season now. Whether we wanted to be here or not, it is that season. All right, 7:21. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services, LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Roswell Skin Center is here to provide comprehensive skin care to southeastern New Mexico in a friendly and warm environment. Dr. Cometti and his team continue to offer a full scope of medical and cosmetic dermatology services, from treating skin cancer to helping you look your best. Roswell Skin Center is proud to introduce Anna Ingalls, licensed esthetician who specializes in cosmetic treatments including laser rejuvenation, hair removal, facials, chemical peels, and more. Anna is accepting new patients, and when you schedule your first treatment, you can receive $50 off and begin earning valuable discounts to be enjoyed throughout the year. Schedule with Anna by calling 575-208-2509, and for more info on our services and rewards, go to roswellskin.com.
February 3rd, 1943, the SS Dorchester was sunk by a German U-boat while en route to Greenland, carrying approximately 900 people on board. This event has been referred to as the second worst sea disaster of World War II. It was during this tragic event that 4 military chaplains paid the ultimate sacrifice to save hundreds on that fateful day. The American Legion Post 61 family would like to invite you to hear the story of the 4 chaplains and hear why these 4 men are still inspiring Americans today. Join us at First United Methodist Church, 200 North Pennsylvania in Roswell on Sunday, February 26th at 3 p.m. This event is completely free and all are welcomed and encouraged to attend.
The presiding judge of the Roswell section of the Pecos River Stream adjudication has issued an order allowing owners of a water right in the Roswell Artesian Basin to file their claim to an earlier priority date if the owner can show that their water right was related to a prior use of surface water. A copy of the order can be obtained from the district court or the office of the state engineer. If you believe that you have a claim, you are urged to contact your attorney for legal advice. If you receive a show of cause packet, you must respond within 60 days of the date of receipt. You may also contact the office of the state engineer for additional information.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
If that was true, I'd be Adonis. If that was true, I'd be Adonis by now, by the way. Good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio from Big Brothers Big Sisters, Kim and Bobby are back with us. Good morning, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How y'all doing? How's life going in y'all's world this morning?
Busy.
Yep. Good deal. I know, of course, for folks not familiar, Big Brothers Big Sisters, I'm sure everyone's at least heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's an organization that's a mentor program for the littles to hang out with bigs, the adults, and they come and they mentor and hang out and kind of be buddies and friends and mentors. And that's the program. There's different ways to do it. We'll talk all about that, but that's in essence what Big Brothers Big Sisters is. So
yep.
So how as far as things right now and matches and all that, how's our if you find a man that cares more about kids in town than him, I challenge you to do that. He's a great person. So.
Yeah.
Good deal. So that's good. So now how many kids do you guys you got a few matches already starting there?
We have about 36 matches currently.
Great.
And then we still have about 18 to put in.
Okay.
So we made matches last week that we just haven't put into the system yet, and that's about to go in the system soon.
Nice. Now what's what's the age the high school kids can be to be the big, so to speak, on this one?
14.
14. I couldn't remember if it was 16
they starts at 14.
14. Very good. Right. And they go right up to seniors in high school.
Yes.
And then they work with what age students are they working with on the other side?
So the youngest that we have is 6 years old.
Okay.
So from 6-year-old, that's usually first grade.
So first on up here right now. Right. But could be a few kindergartners in there if parents and everybody. Right. That's a possibility here.
Yes.
So I would imagine you get and here's the thing. I think the high school kids kind of get this, but you get treated like rock stars, the bigs. You go to the visit these children. You all are children, but the younger kids, and you go in there and you're the high school kids. You're the ones that they see play football on Fridays or on the basketball court on Thursdays or at the FFA competition or marching in band. They kind of look up, and so when these kids come in, and plus they're they want to talk about what high school's like and middle school's like and what other schools are like. So really, as a high school kid, you get treated like a rock star here, and you get to expel your knowledge and your mentorship on him. I mean, I know as a high school kid, I don't just keep talking here, but as a high school kid, you live a life where everyone's telling you what's going on, telling you what to do. You know what I mean? You're mostly in the student role, not in a role where you get to impart some of the knowledge you've learned in the 14, 15 years you've been on this earth. So this is your chance to do it, because now you're talking to 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds that haven't seen what you've seen yet, and you get to and sometimes what you have to say as a 14 or 15-year-old is going to resonate or sing true where some 30, 40, 50-year-old is going to tell them. It's not going to sink in. And so I think that's the cool part, as a benefit, because I would imagine you get a few high school kids like, I'm too cool for this. I got a boyfriend, or I got a girlfriend, I got someone you know what I mean? They got a lot of other distractions in life at that age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're absolutely true, because I remember there's at least 2 interviews I think of.
Yeah.
One of them was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a coyote. I want to be a coyote. I want to be I forgot what number it was, but it was like, I want to be number 8 on.
Exactly. Especially if they got older siblings that played, or their friend's brother is on the team or something like that.
they look up to these kids, and you guys. I know, and I'm sure your coaches and everybody tell you this, but you guys are role models where you want that job or not. Just by default, in the position you are, people look up to you, and what do you do with that? And here's your chance to do something good with that. So, and vice versa. That, like you said, if you have a child that's in the elementary school, 6, 7, and saying, that would be great if my child could spend a couple hours during the school day with a high school kid talking about homework or life in school and any stuff that I can't, relate to with them. And so please reach out if you talk to your guidance counselors and things at your school and say, hey, I've heard about, even if your child's at a school that is currently not in the process yet, the more you tell the guidance counselors, the more they say, hey, we need to bring you guys over and help us out with this kind of stuff. So you're kind of doing a little advertising for Big Brothers when you do that. But that's great. So what's the kind of the process for either way, if you're a little or being a big, what as far as getting to become doing this, what do they need to do to reach out to you guys, and what's kind of that process to make that happen?
You can either reach us at our website and contact us through there and just request like an application.
Okay.
And then but the application is like the first thing to do.
Gotcha.
To sign up with us, and then once we get the application filled out, then we'll start the process of getting you enrolled.
Very good. And I'll give you the website now. I'll give it to you before. It's a lot of letters. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico is what it is. So it's www.bbssenm.org. And if you don't remember any of that, which why would you? Just type in Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Chavez County, Roswell.
Right.
Any of these things will get you to that website. I also know that there is a Big Brothers, Big Sisters for Southeast New Mexico Facebook as well.
Yes.
You can always shoot a message through there, or if you have any questions, someone will see that and get back to you as soon as humanly possible. So,
yes.
Great way to reach out to. And of course, like you said, if you're one of the schools in the program here, just talk to your guidance counselors and things, and they'll be happy to put you in touch with the Big Brothers Big Sisters here too.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the traditional program here. This is the high school program. We're great, but if you're an adult and not in high school and you're like, I want to get involved, well, there is the traditional Big Brothers Big Sisters program where you meet roughly basically an hour a week or 4 hours a month. That's kind of the rough timeline. By no means are you constricted by those. That's just kind of give you a ballpark of time commitments here. But spending an hour a week with a child, doing life, going to see the movies, playing ball in the park, going fishing, doing homework together, going to lunch, just incorporating a little in your life and letting some of you rub off on them a little bit. That's kind of what Big Brothers Big Sisters is. So talk a little bit about that process as far as what it takes to be a volunteer and the requirements, things like that.
So it's still the same kind of process. You would contact us and we fill out an application. You do have to get a background check, and which that's for the high school bigs too. But you have to get a background check.
All for safety and security.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure every family knows that their child is in a safe place. And
yes.
That's why that's done, and we'll continue to do that as long as time exists here.
Yes. And so then you will do an interview with you, and kind of what are your likes and interests and personality and all those kinds of things. And once your background check has come through, then we find a little that matches you, and then we set you guys up.
Once you get through the initial, we've done our security checks. You're perfectly cleared to do that. Then it kind of turns into almost like your Match.com type a little bit, because now we want to get to know you. And so not gonna lie, you guys ask a ton of questions and stuff because you want to find out what makes this person tick. What are you into? What is it that makes you happy? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to find a little that you two are gonna jive together with. Yes. Odds of finding a miniature clone of you are probably slim to none. I mean, that's weird. I don't know if you'd be like, "Hi, I'm Mike. Hi, I'm Mike." All right, that's weird. But it'd be like, "Hey, you two both love to read, or you two both love camping, or you two both love fashion and design, and we love making things.
whatever, that's the kind of things we're looking for. It's like, you're into sci-fi and reading, you're into sci-fi and movies. Maybe you could come together and, that's what you're trying to find common ground. So when those matches do happen and you're meeting and hanging out, that they flourish, that kids are going to want to do it every week and you're going to want to come back and do it every week. And that's why it's there.
Yep.
The good news is once that beginning process happens and it's a little because you're like, when can I just get to the part about hanging out with kids, But it might take a month or two to get through that process. But once you get through it, then it's game on with the fun and planning your trips. And this is something I've told you, Kim, and I need to feel like I'm just talking the whole time here. But if you feel like you're not interesting enough or not, and it's like, why would someone want to hang out with me? I literally do nothing all day. You'll be surprised at what you do is more. What do you do for a living? What's your job?
Yep.
Is it something, do you make widgets? I don't know. That might be interesting. What is that you do? What do you do when you're not at job? Do you like to watch movies? Do you do something? You just don't stare at a wall till it's time to go back and make widgets again. Incorporate a little into that life. What do you like? I like to watch movies. I like to play chess. All right.
Yeah, and we all have knowledge and experiences that, like, maybe you don't think about it, right? But then when you're in a position where you're sharing those things, you realize that everybody has so much to offer.
Absolutely.
That you may not even realize that you have.
Like, so. Bobby, you I can't remember. Did you get Injustice becoming a big, or were you? I forget, or were you a little, and then when you were a kid?
I signed up to be a big brother.
Okay, so you just came in to be big. So let me ask you, what was that first experience like for you? Like, because I imagine the first time you're meeting, you're a little like, is this kid gonna get me? Is he? You know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on.
I know.
So.
For me, it was like I feel like I feel like I'm really comfortable with a lot of kids.
Gotcha.
But like I don't know why, but this kid was just all like. When I first met him, I got all nervous. I was scared. I was like, man, this kid's not gonna like me.
Yeah, you get intimidated.
All this other stuff, and then like. We just hung out. We played baseball. He was like, I like Mexican food. This is my favorite restaurant. I was like, dude, that's trash. Let me go show you what's a better restaurant. And we went to, that's usually what we do is go get different Mexican restaurants.
That's your common ground. That's what y'all love, man. That's great.
And then like baseball starting up for him soon. So I had like some old baseball gloves. I gave him like one of my hand-me-downs. And
cool.
He was like super thrilled and excited about it just because he had tryouts last weekend.
And I don't care who you are. How many world problems or mentoring has happened over a catch? You know what I mean? How many father-son or two friends just throwing the ball back and forth talking about life? So, I mean, that baseball connection there, you give me hand-me-down gloves, it's like, hey, let's go throw one back and forth in the backyard here while we're...
Yeah, and it was cool because, like, the first time we hung out, we went to Eastside Ballpark.
Okay.
And I told him, I was like, this is where I used to play baseball. And, like, growing up, this is, like, my favorite place ever going. And he's like, I've never been on this side of town. So
it was a whole new experience for him.
An experience for him. And he never.
That's amazing.
Saw anything like that, or like he never been on that side of town.
And that's another thing too that you remind me. Your experiences, even though you think they're not so unique, they're not. They're your experiences, and you don't realize what other people experience till, like you said, you went there, played ball, never fathomed that this child is never, you know what I mean, who lives here, and it's like, look, we were, I've never been here before. I never experienced. So, don't cheapen your experiences. Your experiences are special and cool too. It's just, because they're yours, you're used to them. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's so for you to share that, saying, hey, I got to do things that I did, and now this my little's kind of like, I never got to do it, and now he's probably very cool. Now, I gotta admit, did you change him on his restaurant? Like, is now his favorite restaurant your favorite?
So we're still. I told him we gotta go to every Mexican restaurant.
All right, so you're doing science. You're sciencing. You're sciencing, as Matt Damon would say. You're sciencing the feces out of this, and we're gonna make sure.
But like, I have another match. They're based out of Artesia.
Okay.
And they've been together for 70 months.
Wow.
And
that's years, by the way, if you do the math.
So on Mondays they hang out every Monday. And they just bake cookies. That's
really?
It. They just bake cookies and watch TV.
Good for them.
That's all they do. They do that for about an hour and a half every Monday, and they just.
Man, what happens to all the cookies?
They eat it. That's all they do.
Like, do they only bake like a dozen at a time? Like, what's are we like? I'm just saying, can we crash the party and just get a couple? I mean, y'all chit chat, do you think? I just want a couple cookies and I'm out. That's all.
So every month we check up on people and just see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And I've been checking up on them for like this ever since I started working here.
He's like, I also gained 12 pounds because I keep checking on them and I keep cookies every time.
And every time it's the same thing. They're we just hang out and talk. And
that's what they love,
cookies.
right?
Yeah, and it's just something that they like doing together, and it's nothing extraordinary. They're not.
Do they do different cookies each time? Like, or is it always like nope?
They're
chocolate chip.
They're always baking sweets. They're always baking sweets.
I don't know if like we're doing biscuit Cheetos today, or no, we're doing Snickerdoodles or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I remember one of the questions was. For last month, whenever I talked to him, I was like, "What's the most like amazing memory that you have?" And then a lot of them were like, "There's too many to count." And I'm just like, "It's literally the same thing." But
are they into the same kind of movies too? Like, do they watch are they into the same genre of movies?
They like finding new stuff all the time.
Okay, so they love to experiment.
Yeah.
With the movies, and it's like, hey, and that's a good place because. Movies. I mean, now with the day we live in with all the streaming services, there's like 50 movies out you never even heard of now. So, yeah. That's great. Good for them.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for years now.
Yeah.
How old are they? How's the littles?
The littles, I think she's 17 now.
So she's now, and here's the thing. This is that relationship, they'll probably be friends the rest of their life.
Oh, yeah.
When that little, starts their family, has those milestones we all have, they has children, the children go to school, next thing you know, that it's not uncommon for, this, even if they're not per se meeting every week, they still exchange the letter or phone call or maybe catch up for a lunch or something, depending on time and how distance is traveled everybody. But
and I hear that a lot where people say like, "Oh, I don't even consider this to be a program.
Yeah.
I just consider them family." And
like, do you think I'm just curious, how old is your little?
He's 6.
6. Oh, you got a wow with this one, but
yeah.
I mean, assuming y'all stick together, who knows? When this kid's graduating high school, you're gonna be there. Potentially, assuming your life stays where everyone here. I mean, that's the potential here. Yep. Either way, if life even happens, say that they move or you move, I bet you all stay in touch probably for most of your adult life here. I'm guessing. So that's the cool part about Big Brothers Big Sisters. So, and by all means, if you think you're not interesting enough or you don't have time, I'm telling you, all of that's not true. If you live a life, then you're interesting enough. And it's not really asking extra time. It's just, we're just asking you to say, hey, you're going to be doing this anyway. Bring a little along with you and let's see what rubs off on of you onto them and see what they can glean off you and what they can learn and what they can. And by no means are these children like one set thing. The littles in the program come from all walks of life. Some come from two-parent homes, some come from single-family homes, some come from foster care, some come from very affluent homes, some come from families without 2 nickels to rub together. There's no set. It's just that someone said, you know what, this person needs a mentor in their life. Someone, sometimes mom and dad work ungodly hours and don't get to spend enough time with them, or maybe they're divorced and one lives in another part of the country and they don't get to see him as often, and they'd like, hey, I want that male or I want that female role model in their life that I can't provide them. And so that, I mean, every story is unique and different. So if you think this is not a program for at-risk youth, and it's none of that. It's just kids, humans connecting with other humans and being that opportunity. That's what this program's all about. Everything else is smoke and mirrors. So that's what it's all about. So any updates on, because I know with like Bowl for Kids' Sake, anything in the plannings for the future of that? I know we're April time frame used to be tradition. I know things, COVID and all kind of changed that world a little bit, but is any of that kind of stuff in the works?
We are working on it, and we're thinking that probably the April date is not going to happen at this point. Okay. It's probably going to be like May.
Okay, like a early summer. Late spring.
Yeah, we were talking about it at our last board meeting, trying to kind of figure out what we needed to do with that. Okay. There's some logistics that we're having some trouble with.
Sure.
So
there's a lot of moving parts with Bowl for Kids.
There really are. And so yeah, we will have information forthcoming soon on that.
That being said, just because the actual dates and everything aren't set in stone,
now's the time to, start knocking on your friends' doors, hitting them up on social media and saying, hey, you want to join put our team together again for this year? That part is generally always the same. It's usually a 5-person team, $100 per person is what you generally ask to bowl. Then, and of course, the day of the event is the fun day. That's the party. Everyone comes and bowls and wears costumes and eats food and has a good time. The real work is the raising the money and doing all that. But if you're a business or another organization that wants to put teams together, start. I mean, we'll let you know when the dates happen and when you can actually register and all that. But start the scuttlebutt. Start talking to your friends and family and saying, hey, they're going to be doing Bowl for Kids' Sake here in a couple months.
Well, and there's actually and I don't have there's a link that I have in my email actually that I need to connect to our website. That there is a sign up form online already that's been activated.
Get on the wait list.
Right. Well, that you can go ahead and register your team and all of that online. Like I said, I just got that. I need to get it on our website.
So check back here on the website here in a
check
couple
our
hours.
Bowl for Kids' Sake page later this afternoon, and that should be up and running. So.
And this is the main fundraiser for Bowl for Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Chavez County. This is the major fundraiser. And what's the beauty of this is, I mean, you get money from other sources, but those are in the forms of grants or whatever, and they're always earmarked for specific things. So it's like, okay, here's money from United Way or wherever, but it's earmarked strictly for making matches, or it's earmarked strictly for program X. With Bowl for Kids' Sake, we raise this money, and really that's the main revenue source for the Chavez County chapter to run all year, to pay the lights and the electric bill at the office, to pay for matches, which, by the way, I think it's on average about $1,200 or something. It's
about $1,500 a year
to cost to make a match and sustain it for 1 year. That includes the background checks, everything involved. But for that little and big to be a little and big for 1 year, if you want to put it in financial terms, it's about $1,500 for that to happen.
Yes.
So it covers for that. If there's an event, maybe there's a big little party we're going to happen, this will make that available. If there's resources needed to make a match, do something with a match or event with a match, this money's free to do all of that. They don't have to say, well, we can't use this money because it's earmarked for this and then obviously with some of the other ways you guys raise money, that kind of got the kibosh because of COVID and things. So that makes Bowl for Kids' Sake that much more important. So I know we're talking early, but now start putting those teams together. Raise your $500 or $5,000 or as much as you can, because the more money we raise, the more things that Big Brothers and Big Sisters here in Chavez County can do the next year.
Yes.
So that's what it's all about. So all you got to do is walk around, raise some money, and then come out and bowl poorly. Well, it doesn't matter. We don't care. Take it as competitive as you want, or I mean, you could even. I didn't mean to bowl in your lane. Sorry about that. It was just that. I mean, it's all about fun, but come be involved, and that's a great way to.
Yes.
And by the way, as we have the event here in May or whenever it happens, if you're interested in meeting bigs and seeing kind of what that whole interaction's about, see like what Bobby and his little and. Come that event's a great place to talk to and get the experiences of other bigs and littles and what they do together and what kind of and that's just it. Once you're in, it's not like you're left on an island and you say, okay, here's your little, good luck to you. That's not what happens. It's a support system. You're working with them. There's a network of other bigs and littles. I mean, I'm sure you've probably talked to some other bigs and things, and you're like, what do you guys do when you're bored, or what's some of the things you like? We're kind of our well's running a little dry over here. What do you guys do? I mean, that's all that kind of support is available. So please come check it out. Come make a phone call. Don't wait till May to find out more. Come now. I mean, it is only February. You can come and meet bigs. You don't have to wait till then. But if you want to talk to people and see, go. I would even do your own research. Like get on with the on the internet and just type Big Brothers Big Sisters. You're going to get flooded with everything nationally, but read some of the stories, read some of the interactions and some of the relationships and some of the things that all started
because a match in Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes.
You know, that's what's, and so now if you go to the local site, you can read some of that too. But if you kind of want to get inundated with it and see just how great the impact of Big Brothers Big Sisters can be, go do that and check it out, and then come talk to them and see how you can make a little difference just by you going and having lunch or watching movies and making cookies with a child once a week. You know.
Yep.
I imagine too for you, like what I don't know your life and how busy it is, but I gotta imagine when you do your little thing, it's probably like, all right, here's my hour or my time that I ain't gonna worry about work, I ain't gonna worry about nothing. We're debating Mexican food right now.
No, at first I was trying to I noticed I was like really like stuck up, or not stuck up, but like more work style.
Sure, more like business with.
Yeah, and I was like, and then now I'm starting to loosen up.
Sure. But, it's that because you're getting to know each other. It's just like, you know, when you first meet somebody, you're kind of like, well, I got to be on my best behavior. My posture's good and stand up. But then as you know people, then you kind of let your hair down a little bit. Now you guys are letting your hair down a little bit and kind of your little's getting to know you and kind of knows how you are a little better and knows what buttons it can push on you and vice versa. Now y'all are learning that kind of stuff, and that's the fun part. So
yeah, but I'm excited that baseball's starting because I know like right when we first got matched up, it was towards the end of like fall ball, and then now that spring's coming up, baseball season, I'm excited. That's why I love watching baseball games.
Sure,
and just I guess rooting for another team that my son or like my family members are on. So like I'm not as serious about it.
Sure.
So it's nice just to have something different.
Sure. Do y'all have like favorite, like does he have a favorite major league team and you as well? And
I don't know. Whenever we first started talking about it, he liked everything I liked, and I was like, it was just kind of a little bit too suspicious.
You think he was just agreeing with you?
Yeah, I think he was agreeing with me, just agree with me. But I think that was just like a little kid type thing where he just wanted to.
Now you're starting to.
For me to like him, but it's not even like that at all with him.
Good.
So I want to just keep picking his brain and see what he likes.
You're just you're still chipping the ice a little bit, and kind of learning, but you're starting to see it through the other side here and seeing some personality. So that's the fun part about this. You're really getting to kind of and I would imagine too. We talk about this is all for the kids. Bobby and every other person, I'm sure, has taken as much out of it as they've put into it with these kids. I mean. I'm kind of curious in how much have you looked at your own life and things since you've been doing this, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, how I do things in my life and what, kind of, and I see this. I mean, I imagine it makes you kind of assess your own life a little bit and what you do and how you present yourself to the world and things like that. I imagine having that experience with your little kind of makes you think about some of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it just, I guess, also been working like with this agency. I see other, I guess, life experiences with different people.
Sure.
And it makes me evaluate how I treat my family and how I handle my situation.
Sure.
And
it brings
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Because there's some things different, but then some things you're like, you know what? There's a lot in common here that, like, we did that too. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you think we're way different, and then once you peel back a layer or two, it's like, there's a lot of similarities there than I realized. Okay. We all wanted the same thing, even if we didn't go the same path to get there. You know what I mean? And that's you learn that kind of stuff in here. But so first step, if you are interested in becoming a big, or if you're interested in getting your children involved in the high school program, even if it's not available in your school yet, reach out to Big so we can get people together in a list and start making things happen.
Yes.
Call. What's the main phone number to the office here?
It is 575-627-2227.
Yes, which is also BBBS if you want to do letters and things. But leave a voicemail if you don't get it. Like if you call right this second, they're here, so no one's there to answer the phone. But leave a voicemail. Kim or somebody will get back with you pretty quick here. And then, of course, again, check out the website. The local website is www.bbssenm.org. It's an acronym short for Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico. So you can count on your fingers or whatever. Or if you don't want to do any of that, Google Big Brothers Big Sisters Roswell, Chaves County, maybe throw in an NM, and in case you want to, you might just put Roswell and learn about the Georgia Big Brothers Big Sisters, which I'm sure is great, but
that's kind of a commute. So so we put in the NM just for that, and then reach out. There's a link there if you want to get in contact. I believe don't you have a donate now button too? If some people are listening, it's like I would like to just make a donation right now. Maybe I don't get whatever it is for a reason you're not, but I love what you're doing. Here's some money to do that. That's a way to help out too. And then we'll hit you up and see if you want to come bowling with us here in a couple months.
Yes.
Very good. Is there any information that you guys wanted to share that we skipped over, spaced out on, or didn't get a chance to talk about?
No. Well,
even if you don't think you're the right person to be a big brother or big sisters, we're always looking for recommendations.
Sure.
So if you know somebody that we think would be a perfect fit or someone that needs guidance,
sure,
we're always looking for recommendations.
Yeah, share a friend and say, hey, it's like, I'm not, but this guy, he's this person, she's all over it, or he's all over it. Yeah, absolutely. So reach out and come see and then, and like I said, as we get closer and we have more information about Bowl for Kids' Sake, we'll get all that information out to you. But in the meantime, a little later today, you can go and start signing up if you want at the website.
Yes.
Good deal.
Yes. So the only other thing I want to add is just this is my last week with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
You are going back home to deal with family and some things.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Going back home to Louisiana, and so I just wanted to say goodbye to everybody, and I have appreciated every one of you. Everyone has been amazing.
Awesome.
And it's been wonderful, all of the community support that we get for our agency, and Roswell, you guys be proud of yourself, because y'all really stand up for kids here.
Till they find someone to fill your position. I mean, is there going to be someone at the office here that people can check in?
Bobby will still be
Bobby's
here.
holding down the fort? Okay.
Yes, and I think we'll be hiring some more staff too.
Okay. Because I know if you're a volunteer or if you're an actual...
I'm program coordinator for Southeast New Mexico.
Okay, that's right. I've slept since last time we talked. I was like, I remember if he's just a big, or was he actually...
Bobby is the muscle of the organization at this point, because I've always really just been kind of admin, and so Bobby, he
gets his hands in the dirt, so to speak.
He does awesome.
Cool.
So yes.
So I imagine we'll just see Bobby next month.
Yep.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, good deal. We look forward to it, unless of course we find the new Kim here between now and then. But awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for what you did. We do appreciate it. Hopefully this isn't like goodbye forever, and you pop back in from time to time. And
absolutely.
Who knows where life brings you and where it takes you, and who knows, you might be back here before you know it in a year or two and be like, oh, Kim's back. So we'll see. But thank you guys, and safe travels and good luck, and we look forward to. And by the way, look out, Louisiana, Big Brothers, she's going to blow up Big Brothers, Big Sisters there now, too. Very good.
Indeed.
Thank you guys. Bob, is there anything else we want to mention?
No, I think that covered everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and we'll see you next month, I guess.
Yes.
Good deal. All right, it is 8:56. Let us...
A Carlsbad man has now been ordered to serve 14 years in state prison for exchanging sexually explicit text messages and pictures with a 9-year-old Florida girl. 79-year-old Billy George West admitted to the charge of enticing a minor. He was sentenced Wednesday. West also admitted in court that he knew the girl was a minor. Police in Palm Beach, Florida, contacted police in Carlsbad about the case in April of 2021. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looking a little bit better today with high pressure moving back in behind that cold front. Not quite as windy, but it still will be a little bit breezy. Wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunshine today and mid to upper 60s. Overnight, mid 30s and a few clouds, and then we'll be getting sunshine and warmer temperatures on Friday. Back in the low 70s. We'll stay in the 70s for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Here's the lineup for tonight. We've got basketball going on, and the Goddard Rockets boys team will try to keep their season alive playing at Portales in the district tournament. That starts at 6 o'clock. Goddard is sitting at 13-14 overall. Meanwhile, Gateway Christian in their own district, the Warriors district, will be taking on Elida on the road. That starts at 6 o'clock. And the Gateway Christian girls last night defeated Elida by a score of 43 20-16. They will be in the district championship game against Dora. That is either going to be Friday or Saturday night, but that is the last stop for the Warriors, more than likely, unless they can pull off a victory, because Gateway Christian's record now, even with the victory last night, is only 7-12 on the season. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The S&P 500 extended its losing streak to 4 sessions as Wall Street ended broadly lower on Wednesday, with investors cautious despite the latest guidance on rate policy from the U.S. Central Bank showing few surprises. Minutes from the Federal Reserve's meeting said that almost all Fed officials agreed to slow the pace of increases in interest rates to 0.25 percentage point. Norfolk Southern on Wednesday became the third major freight railroad to offer some of its employees paid sick time, announcing a deal with one of its unions in response to workers' quality of life complaints. The agreement to provide about 3,000 track maintenance workers with sick time offered some positive news for the railroad as it works to clean up the mess after its fiery derailment in eastern Ohio earlier this month. Toyota said on Wednesday it would accept a union demand for the biggest base salary increase in 20 years and a rise in bonus payments. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in New Mexico, but it's preventable. If you have high blood pressure or cholesterol, are overweight, smoke, or have other risk factors, it's time to talk to a cardiologist. The cardiology team at Artesia General Hospital has the experience and latest diagnostic technologies to help you identify your risk factors and diagnose and treat any heart health concerns you might face. One beat at a time, we're here for every heart. Request your cardiology appointment today at artesiageneral.com/heart.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. economy tapped the brakes toward year's end, expanding at a 2.7% annual rate in the fourth quarter.
The Commerce Department's revised estimate of last quarter's gross domestic product marked the deceleration from the 3.2% growth rate from July through September. The government had previously estimated the economy grew at a 2.9% annual rate last quarter. While overall growth was solid in the fourth quarter, business spending barely rose. Meanwhile, consumers spent cautiously, suggesting the economy lost momentum at the end of 2022.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The upper Midwest among regions hit hard by a brutal winter storm, spreading snow and ice across a wide swath of the northern U.S., resulting in more than 1,000 flight delays and many cancellations. A single suspect being held in connection with a shooting rampage in Central Florida. A woman, a young child, and a TV news reporter were killed in separate attacks, while other people were wounded. The suspect has a lengthy criminal record, according to police.
Sheriff John Mina calls it a horrible day for the community. It started with a call about a young woman shot and killed Wednesday morning.
A woman who was in her 20s who was shot and succumbed to her injuries.
He tells WFTV police developed leads for a suspect, but by the afternoon, more carnage.
2 men who had been shot in or near a vehicle. They are a News 13 reporter and photographer.
And then
a woman and her 9-year-old girl were also shot inside of a home.
The sheriff says 19-year-old Keith Moses is in custody. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Watching Wall Street, stocks are higher so far this morning. Right now, the Dow's up 202 points, the NASDAQ 119 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Palestinian terrorists in Gaza launched rockets at southern Israel, and Israeli aircraft hit targets in the coastal enclave earlier today, following a deadly gun battle with Israeli troops in the West Bank that left 10 Palestinians dead. An update from the BBC's Yolanda Nell.
At dawn, rockets fired from Gaza left trails of smoke across the sky of southern Israel. There were small explosions as most were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome defense system. Shortly afterwards, Israeli warplanes hit what the military said were Hamas militant sites. Both Hamas and Islamic Jihad had issued threats of retaliation after the earlier deadly raid in Nablus. Israeli forces had entered the busy old city in the morning in what they said was an operation to arrest a number of wanted Palestinians, and were quickly caught up in a gun battle with armed fighters. Several Palestinian gunmen and civilians were among those killed.
The bloodshed extends one of the deadliest periods in years in the West Bank. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Supreme Court is weighing arguments over whether social media giants are liable for a deadly terrorist attack in Turkey.
The court seems skeptical as to whether Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube can be held responsible for a terrorist attack claimed by the Islamic State that killed 39 people in a Turkish nightclub in 2017. Plaintiffs argue the tech giants aided and abetted the attack because they helped ISIS grow by spreading their message. During arguments Wednesday, several justices indicated there was no evidence linking the social media companies directly to the incident. A decision is expected by the end of June. The Supreme Court heard a related case on Tuesday. Edwin Mora, Washington.
A former NFL running back says he is on the road to recovery after he almost died while saving his 2 kids from drowning in the Gulf of Mexico. Peyton Hillis thanking those who helped him following the January 4th incident on Pensacola Beach. He was released from the hospital in mid-January. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Thursday. Welcome to it.
Yeah.
A less windy Thursday?
Slightly less windy.
Slightly less windy Thursday than yesterday. It's still allegedly supposed to be a little breezy today, but not like yesterday. So call that a win.
Yeah.
If you will. So we do have a busy hour for you.
Yes.
We got not one but 2 guests we're going to have joining us this hour.
I'm going to get out of your way here soon.
Here in just a few minutes, we'll have the folks from Friends of Bitter Lake. We're going to have Meredith Hildreth, the president of the Friends Bitter Lake, and then Don Weld will join us, give us an update there. And then we're going to have the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater join us. I believe it's Beverly Coots and Bryce Hager. They're going to join us, and they've actually got a couple things coming up. They're going to be at the Liberty Friday doing a play called 39 Steps. And then the first 2 weekends in March, they're going to be doing their next play, Jeeves Intervenes. That's March 10th and 12th and March 17th to the 19th, those 2 weekends. So, but they're going to be at the Liberty on the 24th, which that's tomorrow, right?
No.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, it is
the
tomorrow.
23rd.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, they'll be at
this
the Liberty
month is-
tomorrow.
Dude, this month is ridiculous.
Yeah, so...
January had like 119 days.
Yeah.
It took so long to get through January, and February has just been a wisp.
That's right. So, 24th.
It's not even because of the 3 days shorter than it is. It's just this month has gone by so much faster.
Yeah, although I'm telling you, this week has dragged for me. I don't know why.
This week?
This week.
This week has flown.
For me, I feel like...
See, time is...
Monday was a mile a year ago.
Time is such a weird thing.
It is.
It really is the eye of the beholder, or whatever you want to call it.
That's where beauty is.
Yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but time is in the hand of the beholder. I'm not sure. It just it flows weirder for different people. Like this week feels like it's gone by really quickly.
Yeah. Check your photos. Make sure the Back to the Future thing isn't happening on any of them and messing things up there. So, anyway, so yes, we have a full hour for you here. And then don't forget this Sunday, the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico has their Sunday Fun Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be at their archives facility, 208 North Lee. Join John LeMay, author, as he discusses the real history and folklore that went into crafting his latest mystery novel, which is called Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumner, including tales of a surviving Billy the Kid meeting with the governor in 1950, legends of the Navajo Skinwalker, and the Lost Adams diggings as well. It's completely free. If you have any questions, want more information, go to roswellnmhistory.org, email historydirector@outlook.com, or call 575-622-8333.
Boy, you really lost your Adams if you start digging around for them in the backyard. I know I left these Adams around here somewhere.
Different Adams.
Thing.
This week is drags for me too.
Is he?
Because I missed wrestling last.
Oh, I didn't miss wrestling.
I missed wrestling.
What's that? Missed it
Last Friday. And, so I thought this Wednesday was Friday because I thought wrestling was going to be on Wednesday instead on Friday instead of.
You thought Wednesday was Friday?
Well, yeah, because I was expecting to see the specific Friday one
on
Wednesday.
Okay.
So I kept waiting for Friday to be. I thought Wednesday was Friday.
I don't. My world doesn't revolve around wrestling. So
mine doesn't either. I enjoy the heck out of it, but mine doesn't revolve around it for sure.
It doesn't revolve.
That's all right. It's okay. Now,
It is Thursday.
But now you're gonna be excited because tomorrow when your Friday wrestling's on, you'll be like, oh,
Yeah, look at that. It came right back around.
bonus.
Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be Friday. It's gonna feel like it's Wednesday, but it's not gonna be Tuesday. It's gonna be Friday. Is that just as confusing as what you came in here to say?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I gotta go to country.
I'm confused
I
now,
am
so we're just going to do
thoroughly
weather.
confused.
So here is your weather. Less windy. Probably still don't like it, though.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looking a little bit better today with high pressure moving back in behind that cold front. Not quite as windy, but it still will be a little bit breezy. Wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunshine today and mid to upper 60s. Overnight, mid 30s and a few clouds, and then we'll be getting sunshine and warmer temperatures on Friday. Back in the low 70s. We'll stay in the 70s for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 40 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity also at 40%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Today, less wind, 65 and sunny, but still windy. Southwest winds 5 to 10 this morning, but picking up this afternoon, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 35 with winds out of the south 10 to 15. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Mostly sunny for you Friday. Highs back in the low 70s, 72 tomorrow. Winds out of the south 5 to 10. Dare I say it? Tomorrow, a nice day. For you Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain before noon, otherwise mostly cloudy and 72. South winds 5 to 15. And then the patchy blowing dust and winds return for Sunday. They're talking dust before noon, mostly sunny, or afternoon, I'm sorry. Mostly sunny and windy with a high of 73. All right, it is 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date, or we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're actually going to have the folks from Friends of Bitter Lake join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Get ready for the most out-of-this-world weekend Roswell has ever seen. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center. 3 days packed with 40 different events, including 10 different film screens, producers, celebrity personalities, and renowned speakers, and all just a few blocks from the UFO Museum and Research Center. The 3-day pass includes VIP parties, mixer tents, speakers, live music, film festival, cosplay events, and more. Get tickets and more info at ufoxpo.com. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center.
Listen, you want a pizza? You can get one of those anywhere. But if you want authentic, traditional, brick oven style pizza, forget about it. There's only one place in town, our Pizza Center in Roswell. I'm talking about authentic pies using authentic ingredients, plus pasta, salads, wings, subs, burgers, and a whole menu chock full of your favorites. You can dine in or have it delivered up to 5 miles. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 505 North Main in Roswell, or check out RoswellPizzaCenter.com. And hey, mention you heard it on the radio and buy one pizza, get one free. Our Pizza Center, a taste of the old world, right here.
Artesia Car Enthusiast, Artesia Chamber of Commerce, and Artesia Main Street bring you the 24th Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise 2023. Last year's record number of cars of all ages and sizes is sure to be beaten as we have expanded areas for vehicle display, added more food vendors, tractor row, and even a bike boulevard all downtown. We kick things off Friday, March 31st at 6 p.m. for the Main Street Cruise from Bulldog Bowl to 2nd Street and back. Join us Saturday, April 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. as Artesia transforms into one of the hottest spots for car enthusiasts, residents, and visitors. Please come together to enjoy a weekend filled with music, cruising, friendly competition, and lots of fun for the whole family. Spectators are always free. For more information or to register your car, go to artesiachamber.com or stop by the office at 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday, March 31st and Saturday, April 1st in downtown Artesia. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Esther is the story of God taking an insignificant person and making her the savior of her people. Esther was a Jewish orphan girl living in a foreign land under a pagan king. She's forced to join all the other single females of the kingdom in an edict by the king in search for a new queen. She hides her heritage, but yet impresses everybody in her path and ultimately becomes queen. When a law is passed to allow the kingdom to destroy all the Jews living there, her uncle calls for her to beg for mercy from the king. She is understandably afraid, knowing that going to the king without being called could mean her death. Her uncle sends her message stating basically this: if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise, but from another place. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. She goes to the king with the strength of her God and saves her people. Not her strength, but God's strength. We must stand up for what's right with the strength of our God behind us.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting them in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Friends of Bitter Lake, we have President Meredith Hildreth, and then Don Will back with us as well. Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today?
We are wonderful.
Real good. Doing good. And, of course, for folks that are not familiar, of course, Don and the Friends of Bitter Lake, we pop in once a month. And the Friends of Bitter Lake, they are the volunteer organization that keeps the events and things, and keeps the public going and the public eye of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. And doing that, it's made up of volunteers that do conservation projects out there. And, of course, you might have heard of things like the Dragonfly Festival. That's kind of the Friends of Bitter Lakes.
That's our thing.
That's our thing. Yeah, exactly. So, first off, good morning. How is life out at the refuge this morning? Things going well? The animals are in the midst of doing their transfer, and I guess in this time of year they're heading back north. I'm guessing.
I can tell you that yesterday I got blown away.
So did the birds, I bet.
Yes. Yeah. I was out there working. We're having some issues with the water system on the butterfly trail.
Okay.
And so one of the maintenance people out there and myself are trying to track that down. We think we have a handle on it. So,
Okay.
but we've got to have that water running because we've got a cleanup of the butterfly trail coming up.
Okay.
Meredith, you can tell them about that.
Yeah, if you well, first off, if you've never walked and checked out the butterfly trail, you're invited to come out
anytime.
Come out today or during the weekend and do it. But like you said, when you do come out there, it's not you're just a visitor. Remember that,
right.
And you walk through there. But part of the some of the things that the Friends of Bitter Lake do is these projects and things, and we got one coming up here with some maintenance on the butterfly trail here.
On April 22nd, that's Earth Day.
Okay.
That's our project. We're
planned by coincidence? No, it was planned that way.
April 22nd, 2023, Earth Day. Yes, we're going to clean up the butterfly trail and do some planting.
Okay. So and obviously, for folks that aren't familiar, it is the wildlife refuge. It's not Bottomless Lakes. Bottomless Lakes is your state park to go and picnic and swim and do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is there to study, conserve, and follow the habitats, natural plant life, animal life, and things that are indigenous and native to this part of the country. And so when you talk about going to do the butterfly trail and planting some, it's not just rolling in there and grabbing some flowers from Home Depot and coming back and planting them out. They're studying on what plants that the butterflies, what are indigenous to this area, things that are supposed to be here versus things that got brought here through various other ways and things like that. But a lot of that work you're doing, so when you guys go out there, it's not only just clean up trails, making sure there's not trash and things, but making sure plant life and everything is what's supposed to be there.
Often we plant milkweed for the monarch butterflies, and it increases all the butterfly population. So we've seen that over the few years we've been planting the milkweed on the trail and on the refuge.
Gotcha. So and I know Don and I have talked on months past on here about the monarch butterfly and about their amazing, how it's like generational migratory, where this generation of butterflies is going to go from kind of here to here, and while the next generation will pick up the trail as they go through. The monarchs that come here, are they ones that they're really migratory, or some that are here for the majority of the year? Or are they just here for a certain small window and then they're off to the next stopping point?
It kind of happens both ways.
Okay.
At the Dragonfly Festival, we release. I'll get that word out yet. we'll release a number of
to increase the monarch population.
Increase the population around.
Yeah.
Some of them will do their thing here, lay their eggs, and pass away.
Gotcha.
That next generation will then have to find its way, and it will move on.
So some that are released here, they're kind of saying, "No, I kind of like it here. I'm gonna establish roots here for the next generation to continue the migration."
That's why we put out the milkweed. Because it's not so much that they eat the milkweed. The milkweed is where they put their eggs.
So it's home for them. That's where they can build their cocoons and things, and pupate, I believe, and all the terms that
all the butterfly things they do. Butterfly things.
The larva that comes out will eat the milkweed, but the butterflies themselves, they use that to put their eggs on.
And then obviously it's like, hey, when the larvae is ready, here's lunch.
Have something to eat, now go find another plant.
Gotcha. Interesting. But if you'd like to come out and help with the planting and cleaning up and stuff, do they need to pre-register? Just come on out and join you on Earth Day here.
It's a good question. I know Steve would like to know how many people are coming out.
Just so you can have a handle on.
Right. We usually give something, maybe a sandwich or something. For those.
So maybe call the refuge, call the store, or call the refuge there and say,
call the refuge
and say, hey, I'd like to get on list, and Steve or one of the volunteers there will get you get your questions answered.
Any groups who would like to volunteer doing cleanup projects or any kinds of projects, call Steve Alvarez at Bitter Lake National Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah. And, of course, you'll find all that. If you go to friendsofbitterlake.org, which is the Friends website, you'll find all the contact information there, too. Of course, you can Google search Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, and the website will come up and all the contact information there. But, by the way, while you're there, if you kind of want to learn about all the cool wonders and things that Bitter Lake, houses, but, what's available to you, the public, to see, that website's a good resource to kind of, if you want to plan a day trip out to the Bitter Lake, do some hiking or just some nature walks or bird viewing or whatever.
Absolutely.
You can do that. You can kind of get all the information there too, and find out what times the gate closed so you don't accidentally get locked in. Things like that.
Yeah.
In the nature store.
And, of course, visit the nature store.
The nature store is how the Friends generate revenue to assist the refuge in its mission of
That's your big
conservation.
fundraising entity to help
Yes.
Bitter Lake is that store.
And we have unique gifts, beautiful T-shirts. I got a couple for my birthday.
Nice.
So they are wonderful gifts and lots of jewelry and these beautiful pins.
Oh, nice.
That I'm
Collector's
going
pins?
to give to you, Mike.
Thank you. I love pins. Oh, cool. It's got the dragonfly. Is this a Bitter Lake one, or is this one of the dragonfly?
That's Bitter Lake.
Okay, cool. That is awesome. Thank you very much.
You're
Which
welcome.
you can get this collector's keepsake. Plus,
that's right.
I know you guys also have learning materials. So if you're looking for books and
lots of books,
projects for, like, say, to work with your kids, like a STEM project,
There you go.
or those kinds of activities,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find a lot of that at the Bitter Lake store there as well too. So you can get donned up with your hats and T-shirts and everything. But if you're looking for some great enrichment projects for your family and stuff, you'll find a lot of that kind of stuff there too. And then all of that money goes back to things like the butterfly trail and then the bird stand, the bird blind, and the various other projects that are always going on out at Bitter Lake.
One interesting thing the refuge has done this past year is replace at least 7 miles of fencing with antelope-friendly fencing, because
Okay.
antelopes don't jump over fences; they climb under them.
Okay, I was thinking to go through them, but I didn't know.
And so,
They might do that too.
A little bit of that too.
so we've seen pronghorn on the refuge.
Okay. So are these fences designed to let them go under?
Yes,
Kind of deal? It's kind of more
they climb-
under-friendly kind of thing?
They crawl under the fence.
Interesting. Okay, so it's like it's kind of like the opposite of Roach Motel, where they can get in but they can't get out. But this will let those in, but not other things that shouldn't be coming in.
Right.
Kind of.
Right.
So very cool. And again, that's kind of the battle that the refuge is, since the dawn of the refuge, is keeping keeping things that are native here because that's the biggest battle I think the conservationists and the volunteers and everybody have is plant life that isn't really native to this area, that does happen to heartily grow here, but it's so hardy that it crowds out the things that should be here. So a lot of the conservation projects are that battle is keeping the foreign stuff away and letting the indigenous stuff
Such
flourish.
as the salt cedar.
Yes.
Salt cedar.
That's a 4-letter word over at the Bitter Lake, salt cedar.
You got it. Yeah. You got it.
Phragmites.
Yeah, Phragmites.
Another 4-letter word.
Yeah. And tumbleweeds.
Yes.
Oh, terrible.
Well, no one likes tumbleweeds.
That's part of what we want to get off the trail.
Sure.
Is that kind of stuff.
And by the way, if you've never been out to Bitter Lake, please. And I know there's so many people that probably lived in Roswell in this area a good hunk of their life and never made a trip out to Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. It literally is. And you always hear the term oasis in the desert. It's literally that. Literally, it is that oasis in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
You think you know Roswell? Go out to Bitter Lake. It's a different world out there. And
we do have a beautiful visitor center. And
absolutely.
Where the nature store is.
Yeah.
And an observation deck.
Yeah.
And it's really great. It's a great learning place.
Yes, it's great to even
and
if you
a place just to relax.
Get away from the hustle and bustle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got out there
So
and then
important.
come see it. Another thing I want to remind folks is if Friends of Bitter Lake always looking for more volunteers. If you'd love to, be involved with not only getting your hands in the dirt and doing that fun stuff, but serving, planning, volunteering to work out at the Bitter Lake store there.
Mm-hmm.
Any of these kinds of resources, if you'd like to volunteer time for that, Friends of Bitter Lake would love to have you come on down and
talk to Steve Alvarez.
Okay,
he's the volunteer coordinator.
I always joke he's like he's your park ranger out there. He's the guy.
More or less. Yep.
He's the one chasing Yogi around. I'm just.
we got a few yogis out there. I'll tell you.
We need more boo boos and less yogis.
Yep.
One of our board members is going to present information about butterflies and gardening.
Okay.
at the refuge, April 1st.
Okay.
I believe Vicki Burris is going to present.
Okay.
And then I think she's going to give a talk at the library as well, but
Okay.
I don't have the date on that.
Okay, but we know for sure she'll be at the refuge on April 1st.
April 1st.
What time is that lecture happening? Do you know?
What I have is 10 o'clock.
10 a.m.? Okay. Call ahead if you have any questions.
Yeah,
and
that
Steve
may be,
they'll be able to help you with that.
That may be the time we want the volunteers out there to help set up.
Okay. Well, you might get a few more volunteers. You just tell
That's
everybody to be there at 10.
Yeah, be there at 10. We'll help, you can put the chairs in place.
And then you sit in one and hear the lecture.
There you go.
And we're always looking for new members, too.
Absolutely.
So individual, family, and business members and sponsors for the upcoming Dragonfly Festival.
And that's a great way to support is
Yes.
sponsoring here. And I know September seems a long way away, but it's not that far away. And
It'll be here before you know it.
September 9th is our 2023 Dragonfly Festival.
Awesome. Good deal. So mark it on your calendars. Obviously, as we get close to the event, we'll start talking more about it. But if you're interested in becoming a sponsor and things, it's not too early. Reach out to if you go to friendsofbitterlake.org and they'll be happy to get you all the information you need to sponsor, or if you want to get more involved.
Or join, yeah. Now, the point of interest here, you have volunteers and you have Friends of Bitter Lake.
Okay.
Now, you can be either one or both.
Okay.
Volunteers work directly with Steve.
Okay.
Voluntary. We have people who go out and count birds.
Okay.
That's part of the volunteer group.
Gotcha.
We have people that actually go out and do maintenance
Help
projects.
with some of the research and things, and then some of the work.
Yeah, they work with the biologist, etc. And those are volunteers. They may also be a member of the Friends group.
Okay, so you can do both. It
We can
depends
do both.
how active you want to get in.
That's right.
And obviously, serving on Friends of Bitter Lake, becoming a member, your finances also support that.
That's
becoming
right.
That member and signing up as a member, that money goes back again to these projects we've been talking about here.
Yeah, and we're one of the cheapest Friends groups you're going to find. An individual is $10.
There you go.
That's a year.
And that is very helpful to keep life and things going on at the refuge there. So please come out to the talk on April 1st. Don't forget April 20th, Earth Day will be the volunteer
22nd.
monarch.
22nd.
22nd, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had April 20th in my head for some reason. But that come out for Earth Day and come out and be a part of the Monarch Trail Butterfly upkeep there as we do the stuff there. And, of course, you don't have to wait till April 1st to come out. Come out this weekend. Come on out. I hear it's going to be beautiful in 70s, I think, Saturday. So,
and the wind's supposed to be down.
Yeah, Sunday might be a little windy.
Yay.
Sunday might be a little windy, but Saturday and Friday are good days to go out to the refuge, weather-wise, I think, for the next couple days here. And then friendsofbitterlake.org. Go there if you want to learn more about the Friends, learn more about becoming a friend, learn more about some of these upcoming events and exactly what they do. So, is there anything we missed?
We have 70 sinkholes on the refuge.
By design? No.
You do want to miss those.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you know that at one time back in what 50s or something, somebody stole a car and drove it into one of those sinkholes?
Really?
And it got lost there for years. Nobody found it.
And then someone said, "Hey, what's this car doing in a sinkhole?"
That's about right. It was underwater, so
wow.
they finally dug it out.
What kind of car was it? I wonder. Will you tell what year car was and all that?
I don't
Give
know.
me a clue. Would it be funny if they go back and registered who was registered to and everything? That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But, and to be honest, we're running short on time, but we talk about the history of Bitter Lake and all of that refuge there, and And it not only is it really a history of our nature and everything, but human history too. There's as much native history and the buffalo hunting and how the Native Americans use this land for buffalo hunting, but which the way this
there you go.
Painting portrays and all that history is just as prevalent out there as the natural history that's out there too.
Absolutely.
So please come visit. Please come visit.
Please
Check
come
it out.
visit Bitter Lake. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time, if not sooner. And like I said, if we want to get some more time outside of this, just to talk about some of these, like as we get a little closer to the 22nd, there maybe we can. That'll be right around that time, so we'll remind folks about that too.
All right.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Good.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And congratulations on presidency here, or condolences. I'm not sure which. It could go either way.
A little both.
A little bit of each.
Why do you think I had her take over?
Don's like, I'm down to 27 jobs now.
That's right.
All right, it is 8:33. We're going to take a quick break for news and weather, and then we're going to have the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater join us. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A new report suggests more funding should be provided to southeast New Mexico for road repairs and upkeep. 2 projects alone, repairing about 60 miles of State Road 128 and New Mexico State Road 31 from Eddy County to the Texas state line, would cost an estimated $335 million. The study was conducted by the National Transportation Research Project. According to the study, rebuilding 4 driving lanes, alternating passing lanes, bridge replacements, and intersection improvements were badly needed. A Carlsbad man has now been ordered to serve 14 years in state prison for exchanging sexually explicit text messages and pictures with a 9-year-old Florida girl. 79-year-old Billy George West admitted to the charge of enticing a minor. He was sentenced Wednesday. West also admitted in court that he knew the girl was a minor. Police in Palm Beach, Florida, contacted police in Carlsbad about the case in April of 2021. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Your weather forecast is brought to you by Do Right Roofing. For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today. 623-2273. That's 623-2273.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looking a little bit better today with high pressure moving back in behind that cold front. Not quite as windy, but it still will be a little bit breezy. Wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunshine today and mid to upper 60s. Overnight, mid 30s and a few clouds, and then we'll be getting sunshine and warmer temperatures on Friday. Back in the low 70s. We'll stay in the 70s for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The S&P 500 extended its losing streak to 4 sessions as Wall Street ended broadly lower on Wednesday, with investors cautious despite the latest guidance on rate policy from the U.S. Central Bank showing few surprises. Minutes from the Federal Reserve's meeting said that almost all Fed officials agreed to slow the pace of increases in interest rates to 0.25 percentage point. Norfolk Southern on Wednesday became the 3rd major freight railroad to offer some of its employees paid sick time, announcing a deal with one of its unions in response to workers' quality of life complaints. The agreement to provide about 3,000 track maintenance workers with sick time offered some positive news for the railroad as it works to clean up the mess after its fiery derailment in eastern Ohio earlier this month. Toyota said on Wednesday it would accept a union demand for the biggest base salary increase in 20 years and a rise in bonus payments. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 36 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater join us this morning. Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
Morning. Doing good.
How's life treating everybody?
Oh, hectic for me.
Y'all are making the Community Little Theater is making yourselves a little busier than normal. Like you guys, like you always have like an event, but usually it's not like, all right, we got another event. Oh, by the way, like the next week here, we got another event right after that. So you guys are keeping pretty busy right now with the Communal Theater. Good deal. Well, then we better dive right in because first thing we want to make sure that people come out to is actually tomorrow night.
Yes.
And it's not at the Communal Theater, so we need to make sure everyone, because I'd hate for people to go to the theater thinking they're going to have a good time. They're like, well, where's everybody at? Why is it kind of dark over here? So let's fix that one first. Tomorrow night, you guys are going to be doing a performance at the Liberty.
That is correct.
Called 39 Steps, and it's tomorrow evening. And so I guess first, it's at the Liberty, so you already know that the food's going to be delicious. They always put out good food. Great. It's a great venue to see a concert or to see a show. But I think, is this the first time you guys have done partnership with the Liberty and shows and things? I know you guys have done your events at other places, but I think it's the first time the Communal Theater said we're taking over the Liberty, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Good deal. So what are you guys going to be doing at the Liberty tomorrow night?
So it's called the 39 Steps.
Okay.
So, it's Alfred Hitchcock's.
Yes.
Hitchcock's. I can't talk today. But the way I describe it is kind of like Monty Python meets Alfred Hitchcock.
So it's the dark that kind of mystery Twilight Zone-y type feel, but with a comic spin.
A little bit, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in that sense. And what's really cool about it is the whole show has like 20 different characters, and it's played all entirely by just 4 people.
I'm about to say, how many people are playing the 20?
4.
4 of us, yeah.
4,
and I'm guessing you guys are...
yeah, I have Bryce here. He's one of our clowns.
Okay.
And then
Is that like... That's not a shot at you. You're actually playing.
Well,
so
no.
One of our
Well, no.
Just confirm.
They also happen to refer to me as a clown in the script. But, yeah.
I know. She's like, this is one of our clowns over here.
I call it clown just because he plays multiple parts.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool.
And then I take on Annabella Schmidt and Pamela Edwards.
Okay. So I gotta be honest. I mean, it's hard enough to play one different character, let alone 3, 4, 15.
Right.
You got to wear a lot of different hats, literally.
I mean, how do you? I mean, because in theory, that's each one's a different personality. That's a different, and I'm assuming that these characters are night and day different as far as the way they think and act and speak. So how do you not go mentally insane, going back and forth between these characters? Or like, oh man, I'm doing the wrong personality for the wrong character.
Well,
I mean, how do you keep all that in line?
This play moves along pretty quick, and so there's really not time.
Not time to
but
think.
that's on purpose. That's the whole point.
It's didn't come at you fast and furious.
And so it's just, in this scene I'm a villain. In this scene I'm an old Scottish lady. Okay, like in this scene. So you just.
But this actually goes to really the roots of live theater, because you look in Shakespeare's day and things like that, characters played multiple parts, gender wasn't really a thing, it's like you're okay, well today you're a woman.
Well, and that's why there's one of the jokes that if you have multiple like any person who's in drama, we have multiple personalities. Is the joke.
Right.
Because we have all the feelings.
There is a hint of truth in every joke, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
So let's it's kind of Alfred Hitchcock meets Monty Python, but what's the storyline here?
So we have Richard Tenay, and he has just come across. He's been bored in his life, and he just all of a sudden comes across this spy story.
Okay.
And he's kind of forced into it and trying to keep alive in that sense, and not have a murder charge on his hand, and he gets chained to a woman who doesn't believe him.
Okay. Well, this even has a little bit of like a Stephen King, Gerald's Game,
maybe
a little bit in there too, with handcuffs and stuff. You read that story. If you
yeah.
That one, slightly different thing, but same kind of vein here. But very cool. So, so if you love that mystery whodunit, but you like a little humor with all of that, I think you and a date or a friend or someone want to come on out to the Liberty tomorrow night. Tickets, probably the best way is to go through the Liberty to get tickets, right?
Yes, go through the Liberty website to get tickets.
Yeah, which is thelibertyinc.com, inc.com, and then you can order your tickets through their website. So, but that is tomorrow night, and it's at the Liberty. What time does everything get underway?
It starts at 7:30, but the doors open at 6 o'clock.
So you can get there at 6 and maybe have dinner and everything, and then about time you're finished eating and mingling and everything, it'll time for curtains up, and we'll have an amazing show. Come on out, bring the whole family, and if you've never seen a Roswell Communal Theater production, make the liberty a visit there for your first one, because once you watch this one, then you're going to want to come back here in a couple weeks to the actual Communal Theater for the other production that is in the midst of getting put together right now, and it's called Jeeves Intervenes.
That's right.
Are any of you guys involved with the cast of that one?
Yes.
You two are. Okay, you two are. Mm-hmm. So can you give us a little preview on that one? And this one will be coming up the weekend of March 10th through the 12th, and then that weekend after the 17th through the 19th.
Yes.
So you can get those tickets now at the Communal Theater website. So, this is kind of feels like it's got of a Clue-like whodunit-y type feel to it a little bit too.
Actually, it's a comedy based on this fellow played by Bryce Bertram. He's a bachelor living the roaring 20s wildlife in England, and his meddlesome aunt wants to straighten him up and get him married and start taking care of the Worcester bloodline. So I'm the meddlesome aunt, and Bryce is my nephew, Bertram Wilberforce Worcester, and it's very fun. It's a very light. It's quick. A lot of physical comedy in this one.
So it's like not weighty. So if you're looking for just a night out to be entertained, something that doesn't, necessarily make you think about life or anything afterwards, just something a good romp,
super light,
a good escape from reality for a couple hours, then this play is going to be right in your wheelhouse here.
Yeah.
And what I love about these, and this one's, because you always have your anti-live musical crowd, and these are the type of plays for people that say that kind of stuff to me, because it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't what you see on Broadway with the singing and all. This isn't. This is just a good time. Come back, kick back, laugh. It's there just, and the beauty of it, it's live theater. So each performance is different. It's things that were intended to be funny one night may have you know what I mean? It's just the beauty, and then that's the beauty of the live theater and what's fun about it, because in essence that's what makes it so much better, because obviously each actor in there, you have a script, you have the role, you're the character and how to play this character. At the end of the day, everyone interprets differently, and so you get your own little spin on it, your own little flavor, and that's what makes it fun. So even when it's a play like Grease or something that everybody's seen or heard of, it's neat to see a live version when it's done, because you're getting their interpretation of it, and so that's what makes live theater great. But if you're one of those folks that's like, I don't want tell me more singing for 20 minutes, everything, then this play is going to be your wheelhouse. So bring your live theater grumblers to this one, because they're going to change their attitude after checking.
We've been cracking ourselves up doing it, so it's gonna they're gonna enjoy it for sure.
The cast, Bryce is a fabulous physical actor, and so are a couple of other people in the cast.
Okay,
I just get
that's the reason why he's busy with all these gigs right now.
He's really.
I love it. What can I say?
He's playing 20 characters here tomorrow, and then he's got one here in 2 more weeks. So actually, your work might get easier after tomorrow night, because you're really going down to one role.
Right. Only one play rattling around.
That's right.
Right.
He doesn't. I'm not quite so confused.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but
just the right amount.
So I asked for you guys, what's the part you love most about being in communal theater? What is it that, because obviously people that do this, you're not getting famous, you're not, you're doing it,
it's for the money.
Yeah. Right. What is it like that? Is it the performance? Is it the getting to the performance? What is it that you love so much? Like, what's your kind of favorite? What draws you each time to come do this?
For me, it would be during the live performance, I can't wait for something to go wrong. I just can't wait for something to go wrong.
So you're waiting.
I
You're one of
love
those.
having to think on my feet all of a sudden and solve an issue right then and there. That's my adrenaline.
Well,
rush
she's
from
not part of your Mission Improbable stuff. You might want to put her on.
She's up at all three of
We
them.
all are. Oh, good. I was gonna say she just put a resume out for Mission Improbable.
That's right.
When is your next Mission Improbable?
We have one in March.
Okay, I knew
don't
there
have
was every couple months
and
they were
then we're
doing
going to add one in April because we just decided we're having too much fun. We want to do more.
Well, yeah,
so we're going to start doing more.
So look for
often.
that. It's usually on a Friday night here, and you come out, you pay, I think it's like $5 or something really cheap.
Yeah.
And then you come out, and if you love the show Whose Lines It Anyway, think of a live night of that, basically.
There you go.
And that's what it is. And it's a lot of fun, and you never know what's going to happen. No one knows, not even the people doing the performance.
And that is a thrill to not
But
know.
another thing to put on the radar when you're out to either out to Liberty tomorrow night or coming out here for the events the play here in a couple weeks, talk to any of the cast members. They'd be happy to tell you more about any of this stuff. Or if you want to be a part of the communal theater, they're always looking for volunteers.
Yes.
Not even thespians, the actors, not of course, if you love to do that, there's tryouts, all that. But if you love to create, costuming or sound, you love to engineer sound and lighting, or you love to build sets and build, doors and entryways and things for fake ones for plays and things like that. But if you love creating that kind of stuff, then guess what? The communal theater's got a lot of stuff. They got a whole warehouse behind the stage there, full of things. It's really I'm telling you, y'all should just do a tours of that one day. Like, just let people come back and see y'all's costume room and see that. Because it's kind of a walk down memory lane and history in and of itself, just going through and seeing costumes and seeing donations and seeing, there's like old World War II uniforms back there. There's all kind of stuff.
Yeah, old flapper dresses.
Yeah,
and everything.
it's history in and of itself back there. So, but to get to the back of the house, come see some of the stuff going on in the front of the house here. First, starting off, coming out to the Liberty tomorrow night, go to thelibertyinc.com. Do you know if they're going to be doing any tickets at the door situation if people space out? Or
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Just call the Liberty and ask, but just go to the Liberty Inc., get your tickets locked down today or before the show tomorrow, and that way you're guaranteed you go and have a nice dinner and come and enjoy a great whodunit. Alfred Hitchcock meets Monty Python. That's a heck of a combo right there.
It's going to be fabulous. The actors are great. And
all I can think of is the line from which one is it? The one where he's sitting on the wall and he's like, "I fart in your general direction." That's all.
Your general direction.
All I can think of is that. Then he goes, "Or did I?" It's like, that's this play. But yeah, come on, have some fun, and be a part of it. So what's after? What's next? What do you after we get through these next plays? What's on the horizon here for the communal theater?
We will have auditions coming up, and we'll talk about that in a couple weeks here again for Where the Lilies Bloom.
Okay,
it's a show I'm directing. I need from age 8 to 80.
Okay.
So this is a show where I could use kids in. The lead is actually a kid about the 14 to 16 age range.
Okay. What is this? 'Cause from where I've heard of that. Is that a book or is it a?
It is a book.
It's based off something. I was like, I've heard that before.
Yes, and there was a film made out of it.
Okay.
And we've done it in the past. I actually played the lead years ago.
Okay.
For this one, I have a heart for the show. It's a little girl who's trying, a young girl who's trying to keep her family together after her dad dies.
Okay.
And so she tries to keep the community all in the belief that her dad is still alive.
Okay. What's the time period that this story takes place in? Do you know? Is it a modern thing or is it more?
When it was written, it was kind of modern, but it's kind of like this is kind of placed in the backwoods, almost hillbilly like a little bit. But not like really comical.
Gotcha.
But there's some comedy in it. It's a dramedy in that sense.
But it's kind of takes place in modern times, but in the backwoods kind of thing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, in a way.
Modern times in the country.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Very cool. But be on the lookout for that. We'll talk more about that as we. And of course, if you're listening and saying maybe that's the one I auditioned for, we'll get you information on all that. Put this website down, bookmark it, go visit it. It is the Roswell Communal Theater's website. By the way, this is the website you'll go to get tickets for Jeeves Intervenes. If you want to get tickets for 39 Steps, that's at thelibertyinc.com. But for Jeeves Intervenes, go to roswelltheater.com. Spell theater like live theater, THEATRE, not the eater like I spell it. Just so you know. And there you go there, and then you can not only order tickets for this play, but their upcoming events. If you want to learn more about the CAPS program, the Kids Arts program that's through the Roswell Communal Theater, or you want to learn more about the next Mission Improbable event, or if you're like, hey, I want to get involved, who do I talk to? Or if you say, I love what you're doing, I'd like to drop a big fat check off to you to help.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Because every play, everything is going back into the communal theater. The last several plays have been paying for a roof. I don't know if you're still paid that one off yet or still paying for it, but so a lot of, when you come see a play right now, a lot of it's paying for the piece of construction above your head there. But that's what all this goes back into, keeping that theater going and keeping the next generation to have them a place to do live theater. That's what it's all about. So come out tomorrow night to the Liberty. Come out. Do you know have you heard what the Liberty's menu is that tomorrow night?
I think what's left is something with a crab dish, and then there's a red chili ribs.
Okay.
That's what's left, because some of the other
crab and ribs,
were,
I'm in. All right.
So the other options are already scooped up.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm like, I got left with the crab and the ribs. So come on, poor me.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh darn, this place is it's disheveled. All they have is crab and ribs to eat. Just kidding. It's going to be very nice. Come out and be a part. And of course, if you want to be a member at the Liberty, that's a great night to come and learn about what they've got all and what it takes to be a member and all that good stuff, and see their list of concerts and events they've got planned too. And there's a lot to do in this town. Get out there and get involved. Communal theater has a lot going on. That we have of course, the Liberty. We have lots of music venues. We have the other theater company in town that does great shows and things. We've got a lot of great entertainment in town. A lot of things to do. Get out there and be a part of it. Come on out. Come out tomorrow night to Liberty. Come on out March 10th or the 12th. Now, the Jeeves Intervenes, I should probably give you the dates and times. Friday and Saturday nights, the 3:10 and 3:11 and the 3:17 and 3:18, those are 7:30 p.m. performances. And then 3:12 and 3:19, those are Sundays. They're matinee 2:30 performances.
Correct.
Again, when you go to roswelltheater.com website, you'll see, and you can order tickets, and it'll delineate what day you want tickets on and all that stuff. They're very cheap. It's like $10 or something for tickets. It's very, very affordable.
I think they're 15.
Yeah, I think they're 15.
Yeah,
I was trying to think. I was like, wait a minute.
$15. Yeah, they're very affordable. It's a cheap date night. Don't worry
a long time
about
since I had
that.
to pay for a ticket. Right. The show.
Usually in costume or holding a clipboard or doing something. So, but come on again. Come out to the Liberty. If you've never been to the Liberty, make tomorrow night first night you've ever been out there, and then like we said here in a couple weeks,
The Liberty tickets are $25.
Right, they're a little bit more, yes.
Yes.
But you got crab and ribs.
Rib and crab.
Sorry, if you come out March 12th, there's no crab. Unless you bring it yourself.
That's right.
However, there is drinks and candy and stuff, but they always have snacks and things. But another great way to support. But go to the Communal Theater's website, check it out, and don't forget you can also like and follow Roswell Communal Theater on Facebook. That's another great way to stay up to date for every play project. If you want to see some of the behind the scenes of some of these plays and things, follow that. You can kind of see some of the fun antics from practice and things when they, pictures and things, just kind of giving you a little bit peeling behind the curtain of the play and things like that. It's all there.
Right.
And at the website, you can sign up for emails and notifications,
alerts, so you never miss whenever there's an event or something coming up. You'll be the first to know, and that way you can get on there. And all of it, a great way to support the theater. It's and I would imagine too, because you have a great board that serves, and so I imagine at some point, if you want to serve at that level, reach out and talk to them, because people only serve for so long, and then they need new fresh blood in there to help.
Always need fresh blood. It's important.
Absolutely. Yes, because especially in theater and things where you know, it's easy to get into a box, so to speak, and you kind of need those fresh faces and fresh ideas to kind of come in and kick you out of the box a little bit.
Well, we forget that we're the community little theater if we get too old.
Well, and that's it. We all, you know, that's the great part about it. We all remind each other. So come out, have some fun, and like you said, if you want to be one of the actors and things, reach out, talk to the cast, talk to everybody. I'm telling you, if you want to get in there, they're waiting to welcome new family members into the fold. So
of course,
come on out. So, is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share? Any information?
Think so.
Probably we need to get you guys back here in a couple weeks as we get a little closer to.
And we'll talk about Jeeves some more.
Talk about Jeeves and then he can focus on one character instead of 40. So. You're not at home right now, like talking in tongues to family members or anything.
No, just to my cats.
He's got family members. It's like, hey, did you? All of a sudden. What are you talking to me? Why are you talking like that? You know, sorry, it's one of my characters.
Right.
No, he never apologized.
Why would I do that? Well, thank you guys. Break a leg, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon here.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, it is 8:58. We're going to play a quick commercial break before news. Don't go away.
Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your tax refund up to $2,000 right now. $1,000 gets you $2,000, $1,500 gets you $3,000, and $2,000, well, that gets you $4,000 towards your next vehicle at Roswell Honda, and that's on every make and model across the lot. Bring in your tax refund and let Roswell Honda double your refund up to $2,000. Now's the time to make your dollars go even further, and it all starts right here. Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. More American boots may soon hit the ground on Taiwan.
America is expected to deploy between 100 and 200 troops in the coming months. The Wall Street Journal reports that the new troops would expand a current training program as the U.S. works to help Taiwan defend itself. China considers Taiwan part of its territory to be brought under its control by force if necessary, and has been stepping up its military and diplomatic harassment.
That's correspondent Ken Lorman. At 2.7%, the U.S. economy's expansion slowed in the final 3 months of last year. Big coast-to-coast winter storm making travel tough, if not impossible, for millions of people from California to the Northeast. Snow in a lot of places, freezing rain and ice elsewhere. Close to 1 million utility customers without power as ice brings down the lines. 3 people gunned down in Central Florida. A 9-year-old girl and a TV news reporter among the victims, and the suspect has a long rap sheet.
A reporter and a photographer with Spectrum News 13 were shot Wednesday afternoon while covering the shooting death of a woman Wednesday morning. The reporter died, and the photographer is in critical condition. Following the shooting of the news crew, the suspect shot a woman and her 9-year-old daughter, who died from her injuries. Police say the 19-year-old murder suspect has a lengthy criminal history. Keith Moses' criminal history dates back to 2018, when he was arrested as a juvenile for domestic violence. He's had over a dozen arrests arrest since then, his most recent in 2021 for drug charges, which were dropped. When he was arrested Wednesday, he was seen smiling for the cameras. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Stocks holding on to modest gains on Wall Street this hour. Right now, the Dow is up 20 points, the Nasdaq ahead 9, the S&P 8 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
An attempted murder investigation underway after an off-duty police officer was shot in Northern Ireland. The BBC's Emma Varty in Belfast.
John Caldwell has been the lead officer on a number of high-profile cases in Northern Ireland, including investigations into dissident Republicans and criminal gangs. The shooting happened at a sports complex in Omagh at around 8 o'clock last night as he was putting footballs into the boot of the car. Mr. Caldwell managed to run a short distance before falling to the ground. The two gunmen continued to fire at him. Police are linking dissident Republican paramilitaries with the attack. It has been condemned by local political leaders as despicable and cowardly.
Palestinian terrorists in Gaza launched rockets at southern Israel, and Israeli aircraft struck targets in the coastal enclave early today after a gunfight triggered by an Israeli raid in the West Bank killed 10 Palestinians. News and analysis at townhall.com. Norfolk Southern has become the third major freight railroad offering some of its employees paid sick time.
It announced a deal Wednesday with one of its unions in response to workers' quality of life complaints that arose during contract negotiations. The agreement to provide about 3,000 track maintenance workers with 4 days of paid sick time a year offers some positive news for the railroad as it works to clean up the mess after its fiery derailment in Ohio earlier this month. A union spokesman says the sick time will be especially welcome to the workers who are rebuilding the tracks after the derailment. The deal is along the same lines as one CSX and Union Pacific announced earlier this month. Keith Peters reporting.
Tomorrow marks the anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Europe's biggest conflict since World War II. It shows no signs of ending as Putin's forces push to capture Ukraine's eastern industrial heartland. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 of Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hope it's going amazingly well for you.
Quite nice.
Wind? Still gonna get windy, but not like yesterday.
Yeah, no, I planned ahead. I was like, we're doing a hat today. That was too much yesterday.
Well, what's bad is I think they're talking like gusts to 30, and we're like, oh, well, at least it's not like yesterday. I'm assuming everything fared well in the wind for you. No damaging.
Yeah, no, everything ended up fine.
Good.
Nothing.
Good.
No massive damage.
I didn't hear any reports of anything bad happening, so good deal.
That's right.
Of course, I missed it.
I wasn't exactly looking for it, but you know.
But you know, I didn't hear anything, so we'll call that good news.
Yeah. It's adorable to watch you scramble around trying to find that pen.
I wanted my pen. Yeah, I wanted my pen. I need my pen.
No, I get it.
I need my pen. And I had these pens. These pens are pen I want.
I'm a fidget myself, so I 100% understand.
I got a pen here and a pen here, but this is the pen I want.
But that pen is mightier.
It is till now, till it gets lost or dies or whatever it does. So
I always think of Sean Connery in Celebrity Jeopardy whenever I hear the pen is mightier. I have to ask you about the penis mightier. Never mind that, man. Will it mighty my penis?
I love those. Those are some of my favorite SNL bits for the whole Jeopardy, Will Ferrell Jeopardy.
It feels good to just every now and again just utter a good buckfutter.
I love and Norm Macdonald's Burt Reynolds is still one of my favorites. It's still one of my favorites.
Was it Jimmy Fallon that did Adam Sandler?
I think so.
I think it was him.
Yeah.
Me and my friends were on a boat, and they were like, "Come to the back of the boat." It's just, it's so good.
There's even one with I think Tom Hanks that's pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the celebrity
all those were
contestants.
That's one of the I feel like I think that they could get Will Ferrell if they ever have Will Ferrell guest host. They need to do a Celebrity Jeopardy again.
Well, but you also need what's his name to do.
Well, but they've got Daryl Hammond.
Is Hammond still around?
He's their new John Pardo.
Oh, I thought maybe he'd retired and
no, he's the voice.
I didn't know he was still around. I didn't know Daryl Hammond was still around. Yeah. So.
Now, would he be willing to reprise the role? Is the question? Because I heard there's a whole thing that the reason he went behind the mic is because he was like he has like a certain level of like anxiety or something, and he couldn't deal with it anymore, and that's what pushed him behind the mic.
One bit. It'd be all right. One skit.
Oh, yeah. I think
it'd be fine.
He was, because he was Sean Connery, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
he was Sean Connery.
He was the best part of that whole thing.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of Clinton on there, but he was also Sean Connery on those bits.
In those bits,
On those bits, he was Sean Connery. And then in my head, when I hear those bits, I hear his version of Sean Connery.
I don't know. Maybe it's not like culturally appropriate anymore, but I feel like there was no limits that they necessarily pushed on those.
Like, to be honest, Will Ferrell ruined Harry Carey for me. Like, I can't even
everybody.
I can't even hear the real Harry Carey anymore. All I hear is the Will Ferrell version of Harry Carey. You know, so
it's one of my favorite things in the world is when you start like doing an impersonation of somebody in front of them, and then they start doing an impersonation of themselves.
Right.
Like. There's this dude I listen to a podcast. His name's Dan Soder, and he's got this really distinct, deep voice. And so, like when he does his own voice, it's him doing an impression of himself, and so he does a lower version of it. It's really funny. It's like you do realize you just did an impression of yourself,
right? Here's what I think I sound like to you. What I think you sound like. Yeah.
Here's an impression of me. Hey, everybody, I'm Sean.
So I think
nailed it.
I feel like I've seen someone like Paul McCartney or someone mock like someone British who is like. Making fun of someone doing him, but doing their version of him. And I feel like it was like a Paul McCartney or somebody British.
It might be.
I remember saying it was funny.
You know what I've noticed, and you saying that made me think of it. I've noticed a lot, like a humongous influx of British people doing like American accents in movies and TV shows.
I almost feel like if you watch a TV show that's on AMC or Paramount or any of these channels.
Everything on Netflix.
Every single person on there is British, and they're portraying some Southerner from Georgia or some, Bronx, New Yorker.
They are so much better at doing us than we are at doing them.
Yeah. What?
We tend to fall into stereotypes, I think, when we do a British.
But maybe it's because it sounds weird to our ear.
Like, do you think when we do it, do they think? And I don't know. I mean, some are better than others.
There's a lot of things that sound weird as far as British like slang goes.
Yeah.
Like they use the word pants to mean bad. Like if something sucked, they're like, it was a bit pants.
Well, and plus most Americans, to our detriment, you hear any person speaking English and it's accented in any way that doesn't sound like an American dialect, they assume it's British.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, no, that's Australian. No, that's New Zealand.
Well, is there really a big difference between Australian and New Zealand, though?
Yes.
Is there?
There is. Certain words and things are different.
I will say, as soon as I hear the one distinction for me between any of those is how they say the word no.
Yeah.
Because Australians have a very unique way of saying no. They're like, no. They chew the word no.
Well, and it's just like American versions of English. You know, when you speak it, they tend to roll everything together. So if you're not surrounded by that accent, it sounds like mush to you. And that's like, I keep telling my story about Australia when I land and they sketch up it because they talk fast and you don't, but once you're there and you hear it all the time, then you start picking it up yourself and you start talking kind of mush mouthy. And it's just being exposed to it. But yeah, most people there, it's like, oh, that sounds like an accent of a foreigner. Must be British. And I'm like, no, they're Canadian.
It's weird. It's where the origin of certain words, like, you know, okay. The word okay?
Yes.
You know where it stems from?
I do not know.
The campaign of Martin Van Buren for president.
Really?
Yeah. Because while he was on the campaign trail, his nickname was Old Kinderhook, because that's where he was born, Kinderhook, New York.
Okay.
So they shortened that on the campaign trail to okay for his signs and stuff.
Okay.
And it just stuck. So the reason we have the word okay is because of Martin Van Buren.
Well, oh, Kinderhook.
Stick that little factoid in your cap.
Oh, Kinderhook to that piece of information.
Kinderhook. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, try using the King's proper use of okay today.
Yeah.
You're going to say okay, just like, Old Kinderhook. What?
You'll make friends instantly.
Oh, yeah, they love it.
Keep trying. Yeah.
I found out that British, the old way of speaking, the old British people, they not old British people, but old
old people,
more colonial stylized. British.
They sound more like how we do in America than modern British people do today. So we sound more like how British people used to speak.
There are different, depending upon what part of Britain you're in, there are completely different accents.
Well, just like the United States.
Yeah,
right. Different. Yeah.
Like Sheffield sounds different than like Cockney. I've heard like Cockney British.
Yeah, it's all regional dialects, just like it is here.
Right.
You know,
I'm not good enough to tell them apart, but
that's why someone and the regional dialects don't even go. I mean, just think about it. People in the northern part of the state have a little bit different accent than people in the southern part of the state. It's just dialect and where people come from.
Right.
Heavily different.
I just think modern British people it's more of an exaggeration now.
But they're doing like more of an impression of what British people sound like.
Right. They're mocking themselves.
Yeah, they're mocking themselves.
I don't know. I think it's all just us interpreting things in our heads, and nothing's changed.
Things get bastardized over generation, on generation with,
I still can't get over Hugh Laurie's British.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
That blew me away when I found out House was British.
He's really good.
You know what gets me now is the actress, the character that plays Beth on Yellowstone, the redhead.
Yeah.
Very British.
Is she?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's a show you wouldn't think.
And you hear her talk and speak, and you're like, and then you hear her interview. Oh, well, the character is, and I'm like, whoa.
It's depressing how they're so much better at doing us than we are at doing them.
Yeah. But half the cast of Walking Dead are all British.
Yeah.
they're all British.
I'm starting to think, is it just cheaper to cast over there or what?
But then you have Sam Worthington in Avatar, who's an Australian, trying to do a gruff American accent, and it's like obviously not American.
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
All I'm saying is everyone's mad about cultural appropriation. Why these Brits keep taking our American stuff? That's all I'm saying. Cultural appropriation.
They're jelly.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we won a war, so we didn't have to do this. Yes, I'm saying. All right, it's 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. Bob Power going to join us here in just a few minutes. Got a dance happening here Saturday night. Wants to put on your radar, so we'll talk about that with Bob here in just a few minutes. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looking a little bit better today with high pressure moving back in behind that cold front. Not quite as windy, but it still will be a little bit breezy. Wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunshine today and mid to upper 60s. Overnight, mid 30s and a few clouds, and then we'll be getting sunshine and warmer temperatures on Friday. Back in the low 70s. We'll stay in the 70s for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds are calm at the moment. Enjoy that, because it's not as bad as yesterday, but it's not exactly not windy today either. Sunny and 65. Winds out of the southwest this morning, 5 to 10. But this afternoon, a little breezy, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, 34 expected overnight low with south winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Friday, I think tomorrow's just going to be a downright nice day. Mostly sunny, 72 for a high. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10. I believe that's Chamber of Commerce weather is what they refer that to. That's pretty fine and dandy. Saturday, there is a slight chance of rain before noon. They're talking like a 30% chance before noon. But mostly cloudy otherwise. Overnight, high of 70. So it's going to be warm on Saturday. Winds out of the south around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, the winds come back, unfortunately. They're talking blowing dust for the afternoon. Mostly sunny and a high of 70, but the winds will be up as well. And then we'll be in the upper 60s Monday, low 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9. We're going to take about a 3-minute commercial break, and then I'll have Bob Power join us on the other side talking about Big Dance Saturday night out at Westminster Presbyterian Church. That's up next. Don't go away.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in New Mexico, but it's preventable. If you have high blood pressure or cholesterol, are overweight, smoke, or have other risk factors, it's time to talk to a cardiologist. The cardiology team at Artesia General Hospital has the experience and latest diagnostic technologies to help you identify your risk factors and diagnose and treat any heart health concerns you might face. One beat at a time, we're here for every heart. Request your cardiology appointment today at artesiageneral.com/heart.
February 3rd, 1943, the SS Dorchester was sunk by a German U-boat while en route to Greenland, carrying approximately 900 people on board. This event has been referred to as the second worst sea disaster of World War II. It was during this tragic event that 4 military chaplains paid the ultimate sacrifice to save hundreds on that fateful day. The American Legion Post 61 family would like to invite you to hear the story of the 4 chaplains and hear why these 4 men are still inspiring Americans today. Join us at First United Methodist Church, 200 North Pennsylvania in Roswell on Sunday, February 26th at 3 p.m. This event is completely free and all are welcomed and encouraged to attend.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Esther is the story of God taking an insignificant person and making her the savior of her people. Esther was a Jewish orphan girl living in a foreign land under a pagan king. She's forced to join all the other single females of the kingdom in an edict by the king in search for a new queen. She hides her heritage, but yet impresses everybody in her path and ultimately becomes queen. When a law is passed to allow the kingdom to destroy all the Jews living there, her uncle calls for her to beg for mercy from the king. She is understandably afraid, knowing that going to the king without being called could mean her death. Her uncle sends her message stating basically this: if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise, but from another place. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. She goes to the king with the strength of her God and saves her people. Not her strength, but God's strength. We must stand up for what's right with the strength of our God behind us.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Bob Power, back with us. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. And when Bob's here, that means it's time to bust out your dancing boots and dancing shoes and get ready for another fun evening. And it is this Saturday night. I got another dance on the books, don't you?
A big one, yeah.
Good deal. Come out. We want to invite everyone out to Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is kind of over behind Champion Motorsports and all that over there. And come out for a great dance Saturday night beginning at 6 p.m. Of course, some of our favorites, Cindy Richardson's going to be back, Cibolo Springs, Marvin Roberts, they're all going to be busting out their instruments and having a good time on Saturday night.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you get a little variety there. You get a little old rock and roll, a little country, a little western. You get a little bit of everything when these folks come out to perform.
You sure do.
So
go ahead. It's the best of everything.
Yeah. And like you said, because you've talked about all these folks before, these are folks that, I can't remember. I think Cindy, you were talking about how she used to perform in, was it Vegas or in
Vegas?
That's,
yeah.
I knew, or Branson. I knew it was somewhere big. I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
And she left Vegas and went to the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay.
And she was, there's a lot of entertainers in that area.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And she was voted as the Female Entertainer of the Year 2 years in a row.
Wow. So she's got the chops.
She does, yeah.
So if you've not seen her sing and perform, then come out Saturday night to Westminster Presbyterian Church. Come out. There's great food. Bob puts out a spread of food, and it's dirt cheap. It costs you $5, and that includes a night of dancing and snacks and refreshments and things, and then of course the great music and getting the chance to meet people or bring a date too. That's the other thing too. I imagine a lot of single folks come and meet some companions there, and then of course bring your partner and come on out and have a dance and fun too. So meet somebody or come bring your date. Either way, you're going to have a good time.
The only thing is, if you bring your wife, don't bring your girlfriend too.
That's a good rule of thumb. You might find yourself in some hot water if you do that.
This week the refreshments it's a full dinner. Fried chicken, potato salad, macaroni salad.
Oh wow!
Pozole.
Oh wow! It's like a 5-course meal here.
Yeah, fresh fruit.
Nice. Good deal. Excellent. I'm a huge pozole fan too. So if you can't get enough fried chicken, there's going to be plenty of pozole there too. So,
oh yeah.
So whether you want to go Southern or Mexican, they got you covered. It sounds like on Saturday night too.
Exactly.
Good deal. The dance is from 6 to 9. The doors, everything will get underway about 6. But it'll go till 9. So if you can't make it till 6:30 or 7, no biggie. Come on out and get ready. Of course. Now, who do they have a set order on who goes, or do they change it up from time to time on who performs first, or when they do these dances? Do they have their routine, or do they kind of change it?
Well, Cindy and Marvin are Cibolo Springs.
Okay, so they keep going all night. They don't. One doesn't say you're up. I'm going to go get a sandwich.
They alternate back and forth. Cindy does mostly 50s, 60s rock and roll.
Okay.
And Marvin does country.
The country stuff.
And they're brother and sister, by the way, and they're both very talented.
I mean, by rule, they have to do the little Donnie Marie thing. The I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll. They got to do that during the night sometime, right?
Well, I haven't heard it yet.
I'm just saying, Donnie Marie need that perfect little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, but two very talented musicians. If you've never seen them perform or heard them perform before, come out Saturday night, check them out. You're going to be tapping your toes while sitting, and then eventually you're going to be like, all right, let's go cut a rug here and have some fun. It's a family-friendly, fun night, so bring a date, bring the family, whatever you want. Just come on out and have a good time, enjoy some music, enjoy some fellowship and some great food, and just a chance to kind of kick back and let your hair down a little bit and enjoy an evening of music and fun. That's all it's about.
There's quite a few people bring their family out there for two reasons. One, you named it, it's fun.
Yeah.
And two, because I've been doing this since 2006.
Okay, so you got a little experience under your belt.
And since 2006, we've never had a problem at the dances. No fights, no arguments.
It's just a good time.
Just
Everyone
a good
comes
time.
out, so they know, hey, it's a dance. It's going to be a fun, family-safe, fun event here. And we thank, of course, Tom Blake and everyone at Westminster Church. They jump through hoops to help you out and get everything done on this. We greatly appreciate that, too. So, by the way, I think Tom Blake is known to show up and sing a song or two every once in a while at one of these dances. So I'm not saying he's going to be there Saturday, but just saying, you never know. Tom Blake pops in and starts playing a song.
Tom's plate is so full now.
Yeah,
because now he's the pastor of
his
that
pastor
church.
duties do fill up his dance card pretty quick.
And he's taken on a big project that's helping the homeless.
Good deal. Well, he's a good man. He's obviously for what he does, and he's for folks that don't know, he's been a long time part of the community and doing, whether it's doing stuff in the Parks and Rec or through the church or just because he's a musician, he's always involved with the community in one way, shape, or form. So he's a good man. So.
And his congregation have told me several times they don't know how he manages to do so much.
He is a man of constant busyness.
Yeah.
and I'm tired looking at him sometimes. But I understand what you're saying. But please, come on out this Saturday night, 6 to 9 p.m. at Westminster Presbyterian Church, 2801 West 4th Street. If you're not familiar, you want to plug it into your Google Maps or whatever you got there to get around. Like I said, it's only $5 per person. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Bob here if you got any need any questions or information at 575-910-4648. And if you have any questions or maybe you're thinking, hey, next time you do one of these dances, I got a little band I'd like to talk to you about, and reach out, and Bob will love to talk to you about.
And we have a new addition. This has grown so much, and it was too much for me to handle alone. So I formed a committee.
Okay.
And we have two ladies working the kitchen, and they're doing an excellent job. Mary and Sherry. I don't want to mention their last names.
Sure. But they're the ones that help you make sure the food and everything is on point for the dances.
I get the food. They serve it. They take care of the people.
They make it. They make it ready for the public.
Yeah. And they're doing a fantastic job.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate them, and maybe if they've got time on Saturday night, someone ask them to a dance or two. If they get them out and available.
They have time.
Good. I don't keep them if they're back there, getting food ready and all that. But if they get a minute, pull them out and cut a rug with them.
And both of them are very charming, lovely ladies.
Awesome.
So
be nice.
Yeah.
When you ask. Well, but we do appreciate their hard work and making sure that these events go off smoothly each and every time you do it. But if you've been hankering for another dance and you're thinking, when's Bob going to put one of these out? Well, here we sit. Saturday night, again, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Westminster Presbyterian Church, 2801 West 4th Street. Come on out. Cibola Springs, Marvin Roberts and Sidney Richardson, the duo, are going to be performing their country western and rock and roll. And, of course, They got a full menu of fried chicken and pozole and potato salad, macaroni, all kinds of salad and everything else. If you leave hungry, that's your own fault. And if you leave without having a good time, I bet that's going to be your fault too, because there's going to be a lot of fun going on there. So, good deal. Is there anything else that we wanted to get the word out about, Bob?
Not that I can think of.
Well, we'll get you back in when the next event hits on the horizon here.
Well,
we got. Do we have any prayer events or anything happening in the coming months or something? That I remember we do.
No, I'm hoping to have one in March.
Okay,
but I haven't.
We got to lock down the details and all
yet.
that.
Yeah.
So maybe something around the Easter time frame or something.
And that reminds me, Mike. I would love to have some young entertainment.
Okay.
I mean, from 5 to 12 years old.
Okay, some children.
Yeah. If you
like
have
dancing or singing or like a little dance group or
singing mostly.
Okay, like a choral group or something. Okay.
Yeah, or an individual.
Okay.
But if you have a child or a grandchild who's talented, please call me and let us show off that talent.
Yeah. And be involved in one of the dances or one of the prayer meetings or something like that.
Yeah.
Because kids are very good at entertaining and everyone loves, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like when the kids are up there singing, there's nobody mad. Everyone's happy and looking at the kids singing. And so.
Well, we do our programs are called musical revivals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the children would fit in perfect with it.
Sure. Everyone loves to sing and jump and celebrate. That's kind of what it is. So reach out. Again, you can call Bob here if you have any talented kids who would like to do a little singing a little bit. Reach out to Bob direct. Again, call him on his cell, 575-910-4648. Again, 575-910-4648. Reach out to Bob here and he'll tell you all about what he's got in mind on that. So, good deal.
And a highlight for the night will be Mike Winters dancing on the tables.
That's right. With pants this time. They got mad without the pants last time. They tend to frown when you have when your pantsless on the table, but I'll have pants this time. So, Bob, as always, appreciate the visit. You have an amazing day, and we'll see you here next time. Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Take care. It is 9:35. Let's pause for local news. We got the legislative update as well coming up here. Hannity update too. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A new report suggests more funding should be provided to southeast New Mexico for road repairs and upkeep. 2 projects alone, repairing about 60 miles of State Road 128 and New Mexico State Road 31 from Eddy County to the Texas state line, would cost an estimated $335 million. The study was conducted by the National Transportation Research Project. According to the study, rebuilding 4 driving lanes, alternating passing lanes, bridge replacements, and intersection improvements were badly needed. A Carlsbad man has now been ordered to serve 14 years in state prison for exchanging sexually explicit text messages and pictures with a 9-year-old Florida girl. 79-year-old Billy George West admitted to the charge of enticing a minor. He was sentenced Wednesday. West also admitted in court that he knew the girl was a minor. Police in Palm Beach, Florida, contacted police in Carlsbad about the case in April of 2021. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I don't think it's a terrible idea to give more power back to the states, and then Americans would probably choose in greater numbers. We see a mass migration now. Florida's taking in nearly 1,000 new residents a day. New York and California are losing about 1,000 residents a day, in large part because of governance and how bad it is, and high taxes and burdensome regulation. And people are leaving with their wallets and their feet, and they're moving to Texas, they're moving to Florida, they're moving to Tennessee, they're moving to the Carolinas in bigger and bigger numbers. The national divorce would be, taking away the power of the federal government, limiting that power, and giving more power to the states to decide.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
I want to remind you about something that you wouldn't think could happen, but it can, and it's people can steal your home. My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply forge your signature on a legal document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you, but Home Title Lock does. They want to give you an absolutely free, no obligation verification that your home is still in your name. You register for 30 days of protection for free. Just go to HometitleLock.com, promo code Sean, an absolutely free, no obligation. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Sean.
This is Jason Espinoza with today's Capitol Report. Created in 1965 as a permanent bipartisan bicameral interim committee of the New Mexico legislature, the Legislative Education Study Committee is charged with conducting a continuing study of education in New Mexico, the laws governing such education, and the policies and costs of the New Mexico educational system, including the training of certified teaching personnel in post-secondary institutions. Additionally, they recommend changes in laws relating to education and make a full report of its findings and its recommendations. The interim committee is composed of 31 legislators appointed to provide proportionate representation from both houses and both political parties. Assisted by a permanent staff, the committee meets regularly during the interim. Current law restricts the interim committee from studies relating to early childhood education and post-secondary education. However, House Bill 216, sponsored by House Education Chairman Andres Romero, seeks to expand the scope of the work of the interim committee to include the study of New Mexico's entire public education system. The bill unanimously passed the House floor last week and has been referred to the Senate Rules Committee and then the Senate Education Committee for consideration. This bill is nearly identical to House Bill 25 from the 2021 legislative session, which was passed by the legislature but vetoed by the governor. For the New Mexico News Network, I'm Jason Espinoza.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looking a little bit better today with high pressure moving back in behind that cold front. Not quite as windy, but it still will be a little bit breezy. Wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunshine today and mid to upper 60s. Overnight, mid 30s and a few clouds, and then in warmer temperatures on Friday, back in the low 70s. We'll stay in the 70s for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. economy tapped the brakes toward year's end, expanding at a 2.7% annual rate in the fourth quarter.
The Commerce Department's revised estimate of last quarter's gross domestic product marked a deceleration from the 3.2% growth rate from July through September. The government had previously estimated the economy grew at a 2.9% annual rate last quarter. While overall growth was solid in the fourth quarter, business spending barely rose. Meanwhile, consumers spent cautiously, suggesting the economy lost momentum at the end of 2022.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The number of unemployment applications fell last week, dropping 13,000 for the week ending February 18th to 192,000. It is the sixth straight week of jobless claims below 200,000. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
I read a quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth. It damages our marriages. And if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, then you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is. When you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
What's up, my fellow Americans? It's your boy, POTUS numero uno, George Washington. You know how I feel about lies, right? Not a fan. Well, you can get a great deal right now during the President's Day sale at Roswell Nissan with access to over 300 pre-owned vehicles, quality pre-owned trucks under $30K, and $10,000 off all new Nissan Titans when financed through Nissan. These are the lowest prices of the year. No cap, as the kids say. Come save a bunch of Washingtons during the President's Day sale. On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd, or shop online at roswellnissan.com.
Roswell Skin Center and Dr. Committee are here to provide what you need for cosmetic dermatology, offering facials, peels, Botox, filler, and laser. Dr. Committee at Roswell Skin Center invites you to become a VIP member. Receive $50 off your first treatment. Sign up for rewards at roswellskin.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 43 minutes after 9 o'clock. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up the show. Couple things I want to put on your radar while we got you here. The Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Foundation Golf Tournament, their 20th annual. It will be happening here on Saturday, April the 8th. It's going to be at the New Mexico Military Institute Golf Course. It is a 4-person golf scramble with a shotgun start that starts at 8 a.m. Team minimum and total handicap of 40. Cost is $100 per player, $400 per team. Prizes for the top 3 teams. Prizes for closest to the pin, plus drawings for more prizes as well. If you would like to put a team in, or if you would like to sponsor T-Box or one of the events and things that are out at the event, reach Craig Collins. He's the foundation coordinator. You can reach him by phone at 575-624-7304. Again, that's 575-624-7304, or shoot him an email, craig.collins@roswell.enmu.edu. But yeah, that'll be April 8th at the New Mexico Military Institute Golf Course. And then, speaking of golfing, there is, I got to find the document. I'm sorry, I should have been better prepared, but I just realized it and it kind of got buried. But I'll dig for it and find it here. But VFW Post, Roswell Legion, Roswell Post here, they've got their golf tournament coming up. That's going to be happening, their first annual charity golf tournament in support of Healing America's Heroes. That's what they're raising money for. That is going to be happening May 20th, Saturday, May 20th. It's a 4-person scramble. They're also looking for sponsorships and everything else, too. And all this through VFW Post 12184 here in town. They're going to be doing prizes for longest drive, beat the pro, closest to the pin. Lunch will be provided as well. If you'd like to sponsor or put a team together, you can reach out to Mac Dyer at 575-291-5243 or Jason Burke, 575-910-1860. Either one of those will get you in touch with them there to get information about that golf tournament in May. One other thing I want to put on your radar for your Utes as they would say in the movies here, but Leadership Roswell, the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, they've got their Teen Leadership Institute, their annual event that's happening here in March.
March 26th through March 28th. The deadline to register your high school junior or senior is coming up here March 3rd, next week. This is an actual multi-day teen leadership course that takes place there on the New Mexico Military Institute campus. It's provided to help develop the potential to be an effective leader. They teach these kids different leadership skills. They do a lot of group activities and things that doesn't put them in danger, but takes them out of their comfort zone a little bit, so that they get an opportunity to problem solve, to build as a team, and the students that go through it, they have an amazing time. And the part that the carrot that you dangle to get folks to do this, they're going to be giving away over $5,000 in scholarship money to be awarded to high school juniors and seniors. And the part I like about it is it's selected kind of amongst their peers. There are adults that keep everybody in check, obviously, but when it comes to deciding who's deserving of these scholarships, who their leaders are, it's all kind of student driven through the students there on who gets these scholarships and stuff. So it actually is kind of a recognition of their peers when they do get awarded the scholarships. But the deadline to enter is coming up here March 3rd. To get an application, you can check in with your guidance counselors. I think all the guidance counselors here in the immediate area have information and applications. But if that's not available to you, or if you're homeschooled or anything and would like to get a application, you can contact Desi Aguilar at 575-420-8732. Again, 575-420-8732. And you can text or call him there. Or Lieutenant Colonel Eric Everston, 575-624-8139. Either one of those will get you in touch. But it's a great program, and I think we're going to have them back on here in a couple weeks to talk more about it and do some of that stuff. So definitely worth the check out there too. Speaking of scholarships, I do want to Historical Society. They've got a scholarship opportunity right now. Of course, their Sunday Fun Day is happening this Sunday. John LeMay is going to be in tomorrow to talk about that. But the Historical Society, thanks to the Linda Hayes Trust, that's funded by the Linda Hayes Trust, the Historical Society has several different scholarships for high school students, and this year, even one for college students. There are 6 different scholarships they're going to be giving away. One high school senior will be eligible for a $1,250 humanities and art scholarship. 2 high school seniors will be eligible for a STEM scholarship, $1,250 there. 2 high school students will also be eligible for a $1,250 character scholarship. And then this year, I believe this is new this year, for college students, they have a continuing education scholarship. One student will win $1,250 for that scholarship. Applications will be digital, and you can find them online at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico's website, which is www.roswellnmhistory.org. You can also find them on the Historical Society's Facebook page. If you don't like it, go look for Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. Like and follow that Facebook page. Plus, you'll find the link there. And, of course, you can always reach out to Amy, the director, executive director. Shoot her an email, historydirector@outlook.com, or call her 575-622-8333. The window to apply is now open. It opened February 1. It will remain open through the end of March. So you've got approximately 1 month to get her done. So make sure you do that. Get her done there. So good deal. And then don't forget Sunday Fun Day out at the Historical Society beginning at 3:00 today.
We haven't had a good ad read like that in a long time.
What's that?
We haven't had a good ad read like that in a long time.
Oh.
A good long one.
A good long one.
A long.
I make them long or short depending on the need.
Yeah. I feel like if you're a churchgoer of any denomination, you should go to that Post 61 American Legion thing event
It's an
that they're
amazing
having.
story.
It's a plug. Just you guys out.
Yeah, just something to do in town, you know? Another thing to do.
And that's something I've been involved with for the last couple of years. This Sunday out at First United Methodist Church at 3 o'clock, American Legion Post 61 family, which I'm a part of, will be presenting what's called the Four Chaplains Ceremony. And to get the long story short, it's a story chronicling these four military chaplains that were on a military craft, the USS Dorchester, which was a transport ship. I think it was actually a civilian convert, but don't quote me on that. And while it was heading to Greenland, I believe, carrying troops and things, it was attacked by a German U-boat, hit, and was going to sink.
Yep.
And with all hands lost. Well, there wasn't enough life rafts or vests for everybody to get off. And these four chaplains gave up their own life vest, gave up their own stuff, and spent the hour getting sailors and GIs and everybody else off boats and on
countless lives saved
to the life rafts and everything else. They like I said, they gave their own gear, their own gloves, their own stuff because it's Arctic freezing temperatures.
Right.
And they gave them to other soldiers and ultimately went down with the ship. These four chaplains, and they're all different faiths. You know, like a Protestant, a Catholic. I believe one of them is Jewish. It's an amazing story, and it took place in February. It's been labeled as the second worst naval disaster in World War II history. That's their title. I don't have anything to compare it to, but hear the story, come out and hear what these four brave men did, and get inspired because it's one of these things. Matter of fact, the American Legion headquarters up in Albuquerque, there is a statue inside there dedicated to the four
really?
Artwork that's dedicated to the four chaplains, and it's kind of it's kind of a lesser known story, but it's a great American story. So if you'd like to hear it, it's 3 o'clock. First United Methodist Church. It doesn't cost you a thing. It will take about an hour. More than just welcome to come, sit down and enjoy it, and then come and roll out right afterwards. You know, we'd just love to have you come out and be a part. So,
sure.
Thank you, Roy, for mentioning that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to mention about 20 other things and forgot to mention that one.
I've been to that church. It's a nice church.
It's a beautiful church.
Beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Especially
with all the renovations they have done over the last decade or so.
I like all the woodwork. I like I like that wood ceiling look and that chapel. You know, in that church, Westminster has it too. Westminster Presbyterian Church. If you ever go, they're
I got to go up the little ladder that goes up into the.
That's right. You were up there doing the filming.
I got to go up to that little attic area.
But I love those wooden, like when they have the wooden, especially when it's bent arch wood like that. It looks beautiful. And First United.
That's what's a trip about Assumption. I think it is up north. Is that the way their ceiling is designed? That's the woodwork inside there is insane.
Yeah, I'm kind of I like that kind of stuff. It's of course I grew up in the DC area, and I went to Catholic church I went to Catholic school until second grade, and Catholic churches, at least in my personal experience, are always more ornate than I've been in Episcopalian churches, I've been in but Catholic churches always seem to me the more ornate as far as more decor, more church-like feel. You know what I mean? Like you walk in like this at church. Yeah. Whereas other churches in other denominations have a more. I don't know if warm's the feeling, because I don't think warm's the right word, because I don't feel not warm in a Catholic church. It just looks more formal.
It's evocative of long, loud organ music.
Yeah, I think it's a more formal feel. Like you go into some like churches, even like a Baptist or Methodist church, and you kind of come as you are, sit down with the family, and I'm not saying either one's wrong. I'm just saying it's my interpretation. But Catholic, I feel it's very stiff, like don't slouch, don't you know what I mean? It feel like you got to be on a different level of behavior in there. Not saying to act poorly in one or the other, but I feel more formalized in a Catholic, and then maybe that's just my own way I was raised in the church I went to and everything else.
There is nothing more fear-inducing. I'm not going to say like scary or like terrifying, but fear-inducing than being inside of an empty church. Specifically like an empty Baptist church.
Well, that's horror movies and everything else.
I don't know why, but like I have
Cemeteries.
memories from when I was a kid of being in the Baptist church we grew up in. It was Oakview Baptist Church, and being inside of like part of the church when no one else was there, and getting this like I have to get out of here feeling. Like I don't want to be here feeling. This is
Then you probably wouldn't like that one Netflix movie that came out a few years ago. That it's like a horror movie, kind of like the Ministry or something like that. I can't remember.
I'm not a huge fan of horror to begin with, but yeah, something about being inside of a church by myself, it really creeps me.
And I think that's Hollywood.
That could be
messing with us a little bit.
That very well could be.
You know, it's like cemeteries. You know,
right.
At the end of the day, what's so creepy about cemetery? I mean, other the fact that there's dead bodies there buried, but I mean, in all fairness, none of them are coming to get you.
Yeah.
And the people but we all have a mindset.
I would argue that a cemetery at night is the safest place you could be because nobody's going to go there.
Sure.
Nobody's going to like psychopaths hang out at the cemetery.
Yeah, so there's some people that I don't think are
especially in a zombie apocalypse because they're not going to come out of the ground and
Well, in a zombie apocalypse, probably not, but
because there's 6 feet of dirt over
Sure.
there. So
well, and then some were cemented in depending on how they did it and where they did it. So
yeah. But for Westminster Church specifically, I got this nostalgic feeling being in there. Like, you ever been get a nostalgic feeling from like a really dusty place? Like you've been in a real dusty place and you get that
like a sense memory,
like a warm feeling, even though you've never actually been there before.
You know what it has a flavor of, and this is again me growing up East Coast. You know how you go to Santa Fe and you got churches from like. From
it's the dust
1200
that
it's that same feeling, like when I go to those churches in Santa Fe and you see those that are built like 1600, it's got that same feeling you're talking about, what I'm saying? That's I used to feel that a lot back east when you go into Virginia and some of these churches that were built like in the 1700s, which is not kind of youthful compared to some of the ones in Santa Fe, but still pretty old church, and always had that smell. There's a certain smell, and I think it's a certain bush or a certain flower that they have a lot of in Virginia. But when I walk around some of those Virginia landmark type places like that, Mount Vernon or one of these churches or Monticello or one of these places,
right?
There's a smell, and I think it's some of the plants in there. To me, it's a positive.
It might be a
smell.
mix of like the dust and the carpet and the.
But I think it's a certain plant that they like to plant in that thrive in that area, like some kind of a azalea or some kind of bush or something.
Yeah.
But it just has a unique smell to me, and I only associate it with old historical places like churches or just colonial era.
It could be the
buildings.
wood that the building's made out of too.
Could be the stone and the combination of the must and years of
stone does take on a very interesting scent smell over time.
Yeah, some of the musts and things, and it is a more humid climate, so humidity and things do come into play on some of that stuff where you don't deal with that out here so much. Like I got to be honest, I think if you looked at some of the churches that are in Santa Fe, if they were located back east, those churches would have fell down years ago.
Oh yeah,
just because of the environment and things,
moisture in the air and stuff.
Whereas the environment here is a little bit more friendly to preserving buildings and things like that. Now they're going to fade; the sun will fade them all, get out. But as far as it won't deteriorate the construction like
long as they're
back
built,
east.
Long as the bones are good, they should stay pretty structurally sound.
Yeah. I just realized we got to go. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
I'm John Scott. That's the sound of a resident in Milton, Wisconsin, snowblowing his walkway, courtesy of WKOW-TV. A brutal winter storm that trapped drivers on icy roads, blocked out hundreds of thousands of homes, grounded airplanes, and closed schools across much of the country, now poised to slam California. A rare blizzard warning has been issued for the Southern California mountains. That storm has caused many flight delays across the country, thousands of delays, and 774 cancellations. Also at townhall.com, Donald Trump's lawyers are speaking out after a special grand jury foreperson granted several news interviews. White House correspondent